for
Yeah.
slightly younger days, but yeah,
Yes.
not so good for you in general. But sounds like you got everything on and popping over there, and
Yeah. I'm Gucci.
yeah,
What can I tell you? I'm Gucci.
of
Thanks to
course you
you.
are.
Thanks to you, I'm Gucci. Went out and found me a Gucci song. You know you can't do that with a mind like mine. Yeah, I'm six
You
years
know,
old. You know, I was running in the ground now. You know that. Every
you
30
know,
seconds, I'm Gucci.
you're so funny. Well, I listened to you, listen to Keith yesterday.
Hmm.
Stevens actually was cracking when they were on and called in.
Yes.
Great show
Yeah.
again. And I'm trying to think of the guest they had on. What's her name?
Dawn.
Dawn. It
Mm-hmm.
was Dawn.
It was like Dawn,
She name.
Dawn Jones, I think,
Dawn.
or something.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And great show again. Sounds like they are well. I'm excited to see and hear what they're going to do moving forward with the activism and
Yes.
how that's going to come to play. Because one of the things that they didn't speak to it specifically, but I would love to hear more about what the activism looks like in regards to the new redistricting, those voters that got kind of drawn out of the old map, and how we're going to pull those people together. Another thing that I wanted to get into with them, I know Stephen mentioned it. He was his background Colombian, and
Right. Yes.
yes, and I don't remember where Maria if she's I think she's from the United States, but her family origin I'm not exactly sure. I know it sounds like it's Hispanic, but I'm wanting to find out more from them and speaking to, because they're talking about building coalitions. What are those coalitions going to look like? Because we have had LULAC. I've had LULAC on. A couple of people from LULAC. What part does LULAC play in all of this? I know that they endorsed Kamala Harris. They endorsed the candidate for the first time.
Yes.
Then,
Yeah.
so they stepped out a bit, and but since then, a lot has happened since Trump has gotten back into office, right?
Yes.
And it's been kind of radio silent, sounds from my perspective, from them since then. And so I would love to get some insight into what the Hispanic community is doing internally. How are things working internally with the old guard, with the leadership of LULAC, and some of the probably newer grassroots organizations that are out there? How are they working together as a group themselves? And finding out what's happening with that. We know what a lot of the traditional African American groups are. The Urban League and NAACP, and how do the coalitions? What are they looking like? How are they shaping up? Have we even gotten that far yet? So as we talk about solutions, what are those? What are the beginning of those workings insofar as the coalitions are concerned? So I'm just excited about what's going to come from that.
Yes.
And what will be happening moving forward.
I'll tell you one thing you may want to keep an eye on is what happens in South Texas. I'd like to know what the organizing efforts are there, because Eric Flores is the Republican candidate, and he just believes that I don't know what his internal polling shows him, but he thinks that the Hispanic voters, the ones he's talking to, he says, are just disenchanted with the Democratic Party, that their gains have not materialized the way that they thought they would. Now, this is a Republican speaking on his campaign. So you wouldn't expect him to say things are falling apart. However, he just he just believes that Democratic leaders are projecting that their hopes and their wishes and their suppositions. Nonetheless, it is going to be a contentious race down there in District 34, and it may tell us something about what the national trends may be. Because the Republicans there seem to be, at least they're reported as being, still enamored with some of them with the Republican Party. I mean the Latinos there. So that'll be interesting to see what these South Texas Hispanic voters do. It really will. And I too wonder about the true fallout from the diehard Republicans there, or those who might have been on the fence but just aren't convinced that the Democrat Party of the Democrats is capable of helping them the way they want to. They're very religious in their voting, and so I'm wondering how the Democrats will counter that and to what extent. Now, in all the other ones we've seen, right, though, we've seen signs that the Republicans, the Hispanics, are moving away from the Republican Party. And I just wondered, had you read anything or had you had any conversations with anybody about places like South Texas? Because I know you've got younger people who are engaging in groups that are recruiting in these areas. So I was wondering about that too. Yeah.
No, there nothing. Well, in reading the overall and via the context, the overall thought about Hispanic voting, the numbers, I believe, are low overall.
Mm-hmm.
And a few people have discussed that on the show, and that's, I have seen that.
Yes.
The voting is low overall. So when you start to break down by age groups, of course, the younger groups, well, in many instances, the younger groups don't vote as much as the middle age and the older folks.
Yes.
So to that, insofar as getting them energized, which is something that we've been hearing about and that Stevens and those folks were talking about, I haven't seen the energy. I've seen some energy around Talarico on the Hispanic side, but it's been a split between literally Jasmine Crockett and Talarico. From the past primary.
Yes.
There was a contingent of young Hispanics that also wanted Jasmine Crockett to win as well. So where are those voters going now? Are they disengaged or not as enthusiastic given the outcome? And what what Talarico needs to do going forward? I think he needs to reach African Americans, but I think
absolutely. I think we all agree on that too. I mean, all of us are African Americans, because we've seen this before. We've seen them go chasing after that mythical. What is it? The mythical moderate white voter.
Yeah, mythical. And I discussed that exactly, and I discussed that. I brought it up on Wednesday because the last time we've seen they keep Stevens, I think, was calling the Great White Hope or something along those lines. Yeah. And I made them, kind of go back and think about Bill Clinton. That was the last time historically that I remember a white man could bridge those gaps or did bridge those gaps in the African American community, Hispanic community, and across the board.
Yeah.
And Talarico is not Bill Clinton. Two different animals coming from different places. And so it will be interesting to see that, because you're right, Paris, the younger vote, and we've got the second installment, the PSA, that's out, and you've been playing those, and the third one will be out probably the end of July to get that engagement from those young voters. They also are online. They've been posted online as well. So I'm trying to do my part insofar as getting the word out there, and the word is out there. Like I said, there's chatter. There's a lot going around, back and forth. But in some instances, like we were talking about the Amanda Seals, stop through St. Louis on the way.
You stopped in St. Louis to harass that woman. You stopped in there. You would have went in there and got in those people's fights.
You got in St. Louis.
You would have went in there and got into that beef with these people, man. You can't say you had to go down there to hang with your girl, Jasmine. Be sure she was all right.
Story Bush, Jasmine. I was just like, what a coincidence that I was routed through St. Louis, and but anyway. I think that they are engaged, but from a standpoint of just chatter and what people are saying and these kind of things, and that's gone back and forth, right? And I told you we discussed that last week, the story, and I think Stephen and his group went back over that again. So I think the bottom line is that we need to move on from that. Will Jasmine Crockett sign on with it? I don't know. I mean, all these theories that are going out there about Obama and how he's going to step in and all of that.
Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? I could see that scenario. It depends upon how deep it gets. He may have to step in sooner or later. After all, Joe Biden is the titular head of the party, but I think realistically, Obama is the head of the party. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't. I think that when we're talking about these folks who are voting for the first time, and a lot of them, Obama doesn't have the same effect. I think that Obama's been out of office for 10 years. And I think he resonates to different groups in different ways.
What about politically, though? What about the office holders?
I don't know.
Can he make a deal to get if Jasmine can? What can he offer that Jasmine? I think would be the question.
I hear you.
Or any dissident.
I
any
don't
dissenter.
know. I don't know. I think one of my thoughts was before the primary was even done. I questioned the players that they had, trying to get elected to the different offices. I thought Democratic leadership, Jasmine Crockett, probably could have run for governor versus, the situation that we have now. But I think that what are they going to promise her? Yes, she wants to be on the national level, of course, but other than Attorney General, I mean, she has a place in the cabinet, I guess. But I think that Jasmine Crockett, I believe she wants to be in the arena. I think she really wants to be effective in that way. That's my thought by listening to her, following her, and actually speaking with her. I'm not sure if that theory is going to play out. I really don't. And if it doesn't happen by the end of, here we're in June. If it doesn't happen by the end of June, I think that Talarico is actually running out of time to make that transition, to get the trust that he's going to need to fill in the gap for those people who were disengaging because of the Jasmine Crockett loss. So I think that if we're going to see something, we need to see something quick, because he's interacting kind of on a surface level. Yes. And it needs to be more engaging than it is now.
That's what That's what maybe that's what got your attention from the young lady, huh? Miss Shawn, Dawn, that was on with
Dawn.
them. That was on with
But yeah,
the other
that's
night because
right.
she was saying something similar. You know, she was saying
Yeah, yeah.
she hasn't seen a genuine. He's got the talking. He's speaking of Tallarico. He's got the talking points down. She was saying, but
But,
she hasn't seen that
yeah. But
genuineness.
But I've been saying that for the longest.
Yes,
That
you
he
have.
needs to
That's
come
it.
on and he needs to talk to the black community and to the communities more specifically to what it is that he's going to do, the things that he has on his platform, but he's not addressing those things specifically. And so you can read a lot into that. Are you not addressing those things because you're more interested in getting the rural voters and those voters that could potentially be evangelicals and those folks? Because if you talk too much about what you're going to be doing for black and brown communities, they may be less inclined to vote for you. I just think that he has a needle. He has a needle to thread that isn't easy to do, given the tribal differences and the cultural differences. It's not easy to do that, and that's why I was saying Bill Clinton. I mean, we've seen politicians, white politicians, that have done that, but they are far and few between. Beto did a lot of going around and talking to people. He went to a lot of places. I remember that, thinking, wow, he's everywhere. He was everywhere, talking to everybody. And I'm not saying that Tallarico's not doing that, but it doesn't seem to be, publicized as much in the media. I was invited to that Prairie when he was at Prairie View, but I haven't seen a whole lot of that. I haven't seen it, the churches, and I think that would be a place that he might feel comfortable in. Would be in the churches, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
whatever.
And I think he will. I think he will. They've always been trying to thread that needle. The Democrats, no matter who they ran.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Beto O'Rourke had some chemistry with black voters.
And people in general, he had a chemistry with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
He had a personality he
had a personality to get out there. It's not like Tallarico doesn't have money. The war chest. I mean, he raised a lot of money, and more than Jackson Crockett had, and I think more than Beto raised. And so he's investing in all in TV ads. I'm not sure. But we'll see.
This is a thing I think the Democrats do poorly sometimes. I think they misread things. You think because we are unhappy with somebody, they've been making the mistake that we will just come to them by default as a default position organically.
Yeah.
And we've been saying this since Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton had a rocky road at first, and people were talking about, I'm not playing because a guy played saxophone on him. And during those days, I was offended that they would call him the second black, the first black president. Yeah. And I said, get out of here. We're not so desperate. We got to choose a white man and call him the first black president because he had what he called a difficult time, which didn't even come up to the page of a scale of -3 with what black people had gone to. But he played saxophone on the Letterman show or some late night show, I think it was. And we were talking about the next black vice president because he had been caught up in that sex scandal with Lewinsky and those other people. And people were going after him. And I don't get it when black folks identify with a white person because that white person is beset by the legal system. That's a different kind of besetment, if you will. if I could coin a new phrase, that doesn't make him the same at all in my account. Just as crazy as black folks talking about Trump knows what it feels like to be black. Yeah, if you believe that, you shouldn't be eating with sharp instruments,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so, my thing is, my whole issue, as you guys may recall, has been with Democratic leadership. Not saying, because I think Talarico is a decent person.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I don't have anything against him. The platforms are, his platform and Jasmine Crockett's platform are pretty much the same.
Yes,
But what I think is that Democratic leadership is not, we've seen it over and over and over again. And I think, and I know, for being in these Win with Black Women, all of the groups with African American women and women of color, it's just, the take is, we see the pattern, and if we keep going along with this, we're complicit. We're allowing you to do this. And like you said, they use this, it's kind of similar to what Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
Remember when you say you don't,
what you got to lose? What you got to lose?
And the similar approach, they're just not coming out and saying it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, insofar as this senator's race, and I got the jobs report number.
Oh, good. They were going to give them out this morning, and I had to leave. Sooner or later, I have to come to work to get here on time. And I said, "Oh, Lydia's not there, so I really better get there." I don't want to be chastised.
I pull them down, okay. But from a strategy standpoint, and we're talking about, okay, we want to take the Senate. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's the most important thing. That's one of the reasons that I believe that they're banking on African Americans to vote for him, hold their nose, do whatever, they're doing, is that to take the Senate from the Republicans. Mm-hmm. Okay. I get that. But the strategy, if you're looking at the states, where Democrats' most viable Senate paths are, I mean, to get there, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona. So those are even before Texas. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so we're going on and on about if we don't vote for Talarico, we're ruining our chances of taking the Senate. Yeah. Well, that's not true. That's only part of the story. And I think that we need to have the rest of this story laid out insofar as the analytics are concerned. So those are 4 states that have, and blue states, right? Blue states.
Yeah,
not a
sure.
red state.
That's
I think Arizona may be purple now or something.
Yes, it is purple. It is.
Okay, it's purple. Thank you. And so we've got blue states and a purple state that have a road to Senate that are actually more doable than what we have in Texas. So saying that to say, if you don't just let the Democratic Party take you for granted, and I've said this before, you need to go vote, but you need to strategically, vote, and vote for the governor, but you need to let them know that, hey, I really need to, these are the things that I need. Like most votes do. This is what I need. This is what I need. And I need you to, and I need this. We're the backbone of this party, and, skipping over us or saying, oh, okay, well, I mean, Texas has the most, the largest black population in the country, from another standpoint. So why are we being treated like, we don't count, or that we're not that, or that all of these other groups, I'm not saying all the other groups do matter. Coalitions do need to be made, but that doesn't mean that we should not pay attention to our own community. That's all I'm saying. And I'm good with the conversations, because there could be some things that I'm missing, but I don't think so. And I'm bringing forth, this information that I don't know if a lot of people really are thinking about and discussing about the other states that give us the road to take the Senate.
Yeah.
Even before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I agree. So, and you bring up something very interesting. I was reading something about before I fell asleep last night. I was just talking about Arizona, and they were talking about the 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 chances once you aggregated the numbers, the number of Democrats versus the Republican, and it was tied to to the Los Angeles to the California jungle primary, and so you can have a situation in these kinds of primaries where the top two winners can be Democratic and Republican, but on the other hand, you can have the third candidate who is also Democratic or Republican, and that can make a difference in the aggregate numbers because it's unlikely that if a person voted for, if they split their vote the first time out, then they're going to vote for their original party, the person who went to. So they were saying, based on that, the next senator is likely to be Democratic, and the next governor is likely to be Democratic.
To be Democratic.
Democratic.
Okay.
But look, so when you mentioned the purple state this morning, I want to do a quick fact check here. So this is what it looks like. In American political discourse, states are often labeled red for leaning towards Republican, blue, of course, for leaning Democratic. State political profiles are shaped by a host of factors, voting patterns in national elections, and here's what they came up with. Most states vote and act consistently along party lines, but some have less predictable political leanings. These states, which can swing to either major party in a presidential election, are sometimes called swing states or purple states. And now Arizona has been adjudged a purple state.
Yes.
They went out for voting for Biden. Now, 9 states: Colorado, Florida, Iowa, Michigan, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia voted for each party at least 3 times in those 9 elections, making them less consistent. 6 states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, voted for different parties' candidates in the last 2 elections. So it gets into percentages here. I'm trying to get to the bottom line on their poll to see where. So, okay, 25 states have 2 Republican senators. Well, I think we know that. 25 states have 2 Republican senators. 21 have 2 Democratic senators. Okay, so there's a 4-seat advantage there. This map, though, I tell you that I'm looking at, looks mostly red. I don't find it in the text. Oh, here we are. U.S. Senate blue states, where they have both Democratic senators: Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Virginia, and Washington. Now, here are the red states. Not like you're going to need to remember all of this, but Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, West Virginia, Wyoming. Now here are the split states: Maine, Pennsylvania, Vermont, and Wisconsin. They have one each. I think.
One each.
And I think one of those might even be an independent in some cases. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, and what's his name? King too, out of Maine. Is he one? Angus?
Yeah.
Is it that Angus King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We're doing too much, right? When you can remember these people
No.
I say to myself sometimes, you got no business knowing these people. Sometimes I'm really pleased when I look at a conversation and I don't recognize the senator. That happened the other night with Gary Peters, and doggone it, now I remembered his name, Gary Peters, which means I will come to recognize him now. Yeah.
Yeah. So just and thanks for the fact checking, Paris, and the additional information, because I just think that really, if you're going to talk about these things and literally start proposing strategies, this is stuff that you need to know. This is stuff that you need to be thinking about. And with these analysts, a lot of times, you can get analyst thoughts and kind of add your thoughts, formulate your own thoughts about it.
Yeah.
But, so to say that, it's life or death if we don't win Texas, I mean, literally, the Texas Senate seat, literally, and we don't want Paxton in that seat. I mean, he's not, the person to be there. He literally is not.
Right.
But we do have a way to combat, to take over the Senate if that did happen.
Yeah, he's not. That's not the only path. Texas doesn't have to go through Texas, right? Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's not the only path. So that's something to keep in mind. But let's break this down.
One other thing before you go. One other thing before you. Mention what you're getting ready to go on to. I did because I did hear the exchange between you and Don and Steves and Dr. Biko Mandela Gray and Yvonne Rodriguez. The thing that I liked that Don said on the end there was, they got these organizations and now you are out there, you're bringing these organizations on too. And the reason I like the Politics with Friends show and the participation we get is it broadens our view. I mean, I'm hearing our conversations are going to have to broaden because we can't ignore what a different generation of people are doing out there. People are doing something. They are not just sitting around talking. It's more than that. So I wanted to say that, and then go ahead. Now you go ahead. Yeah.
No, for sure. And I think it's great, too, because you get to their political, they teach politics, they teach, social science, and a lot of the jargon, the gaming theory, the things, they bring up points that just a person, you're normally, just kind of looking at the latest news reports and you're not doing, you're just relying on the news. They bring a lot of information to the table.
They do.
And I think that it's a good thing, and I think it is going to stretch the folks who listen, and I think that those people who are on the show, the guests, I think that they're going to bring additional listeners as well.
Yes.
And so, Paris, it's all good. I think that was a good get.
Yeah, it's a good thing. All right, Jared Walls. Good get, man. Good get. Yeah.
So the jobs report. Okay.
Yes.
May 2026. This morning's May jobs report gives us a picture of an economy that is still moving, still hiring, but clearly shifting under the surface. Says the country added 172,000 jobs in May, almost double what analysts expected, and the unemployment rate held steady at 4.3, the same tight range we've been watching for months. And those revisions we always talk about, they matter again. March and April were revised up by 93,000 jobs, which means the labor market was running stronger than we thought heading into May.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the report, the sector story tells you everything about where the economy is heading. Healthcare, well, it doesn't tell you everything, but healthcare added 35,000 jobs, continuing its year-long streak as the strongest engine in the labor market. And analysts say that's not slowing down, not with aging population, rising chronic care needs, and the simple fact that you cannot automate a warehouse, but you can't automate bedside care. So, Paris, you picking up on a lot of the healthcare shows that you've been putting on is, on trend.
Yeah.
Hospitality picked up again, and that's seasonal. Summer travel, vacations, and events always give restaurants and hotels a lift this time of year. Local government added 55,000 jobs, making it one of the biggest contributors this month. That's interesting. Local government, Perry. Manufacturing added 7,000 jobs, showing a little more life after a softer spring. And construction added 17,000, mostly from non-residential specialty contractors.
Yes.
The same pattern we saw in March and April. It's probably counted into the Trump's upgrades of the reflecting pool, huh?
And the ballroom. Don't forget the ballroom.
and the ballroom.
That accounts for cost overruns.
Exactly. That was a big boost. Non-residential specialty contractors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But financial analysts are watching something else. Financial services lost 22,000 jobs, and that sector is now down more than 100,000 from its peak. A lot of that is due, and this is what, AI and automation. That's one of the first places that they're going to try to use the AI and the automation a lot of times with in the financial services industry. Banks and insurance companies are restructuring, consolidating roles, and shifting entire departments towards AI-driven systems. Analysts say this is the first major white-collar sector where AI is visibly reshaping the workforce. And then there's social assistance, which added 12,000 jobs. That raises a real question. If jobs are being added, why is social assistance growing too? Economists say it's not because people don't want to work, it's because certain groups are still struggling to get hired. Long-term unemployment is elevated. Older workers, people with gaps in their resume, and folks without specialized skills are having a harder time re-entering the workforce. So social assistant jobs grow because the need grows. And I have to tell you, I heard this narrative by one of these CNBC that really irritated me this morning, because when they brought that up, okay, the jobs are there, but SNAP benefits and this and that, why are these people? It's like, okay, we need to make sure that the people that don't have jobs, why are they not going out to try to find jobs? And it's like, how do you know that these people aren't going? And so what Trump is doing, the administration is doing, is probably the right thing by cutting back on some of these benefits because they're making it too lucrative for these people to not work. And I want to say, really?
Yes, that is.
And this is
who said that? Was this Andrew Sorkin? No, I can't imagine him.
It wasn't Andrew.
It sounds like somebody from the '60s, and I don't mean the rolling '60s either.
He was the older guy.
Yes.
He's an older guy on there, and I can't think of his name now, but he does a lot of the reporting on there. But he came on, and you could tell he was back in this administration from, and I don't know, he may take offense at that. That was his analysis. But I was like, how do you know, like I was saying here, older workers, people with gaps in their resume, these doesn't mean these people aren't looking. These people probably just looking and not getting hired.
That sounds really politically tinged to me. As a matter of fact, that argument today sounds like a throwback. It sounds like an anachronism. When you hear somebody, that was like my guy from Iowa or Milwaukee. Who was it now? Maybe it was Ron Johnson from Wisconsin talking about we can't give them all that money because if you give it to them, they will spend all that money. They're just going to spend it on beer and movies. Yeah. I mean that when he said that, when I heard somebody say that in the 1920s, that's what they were saying in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s.
And let me tell you, every chance a lot of these people get, there was a woman and another man that came on and was like, okay, well, I got you. So there wasn't a different opinion. And it was like, we know AI, the financial services, a lot of these people are working, and it's hard to find a job. A lot of these people don't have the skill set with a lot of these jobs.
Yes.
They don't want to hire a lot of older people now. They're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And I think the government needs to come up with some regulations behind some of that stuff.
Sure.
And for ageism and a lot of those other things that are going on. Because now people need to work as they get older because of inflation and all of these other things that cost way more money than they used to. And so it's just a lot of different components for to be analyzed than for someone to just go in and make this broad sweep and say, oh, that's the jobs are there. So what's the problem now? Why do you need, and it's like, okay, I'm so that irritated me a bit. But anyway, so when you put it all together, the May report shows an economy that's steady, slower, and shifting. And it's been shifting for a while because, when I've been coming on giving the reports, it's been shifting. A lot of these numbers, because of the whole shifting of the people that run the jobs report, you don't hear all the criticism against the numbers anymore, right?
Oh, sure. So absolutely. You're right.
Yeah. That's gone away.
No surprise. Okay. No surprise there. Yeah.
No surprise. So healthcare is carrying the weight. Hospitality is getting its summer bump because that's what that is. Construction and manufacturing are stabilizing. And I don't know about that either. I don't know if manufacturing is stabilizing because there's still a lot going on. Financial services is feeling the impact of AI, and social assistance is rising because the recovery isn't reaching everyone equally, which has been the story of our lives, right?
Yes. Yeah. Right. But look, so I want to ask you though about. So what are I understand the jobs in healthcare, they're creating more jobs. What about the wages? What does it say about the wages in healthcare? But, and I ask that based upon the fact they're reclassifying people. They are downgrading people's certifications, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some foolishness they're doing. You know what they're doing? They're saying, well, that degree doesn't mean what it used to mean, and which in turn brings down the value of your degree. Right?
Yes. Let me see here because I didn't. They talked about it on MSNBC, but slow, steady, not dramatic, not explosive. Average hourly earnings rose 0.3% for the month and 3.7% year over year. That's it's in line with a cooling but stable pattern. Okay. And we've been watching that since late 2025. So big story underneath the numbers is the same one we've been talking about for months. Wage growth is uneven. So that's part of the story there. Higher income workers, especially in tech and engineering and specialized professional services, that's where all the money is, right?
Yes.
They're still seeing the strongest gains, but lower wage workers, particularly in retail and hospitality, are seeing slower increases as hiring stabilizes and employers regain leverage. So
that's an important sentence right there. That's an important phrase. Employers regain leverage, which tells me that the wage growth is going to stagnate. That's what I see when I hear that.
Right.
It says that the workers are losing a bargaining edge, right?
Yes. They aren't seeing the big jumps that they got in 2021 through 2023. That's pre-pandemic.
Yes.
That's running close to that. And with prices still elevated in areas like housing and insurance, many people are saying those wage gains don't feel like gains.
Yeah, so, right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the wage picture is steady, modest, and uneven. A labor market that's cooling without collapsing. A paycheck story that depends heavily on where you work and what skills you bring to the table.
Yes. And see, they changed that. They change what a thing is worth. I mean, there's so many ways for the very, very wealthy to manipulate the value of our income.
Yes, absolutely. And this, they keep telling us that as soon as the war is over, and I don't know, you may have some thoughts about that the gasoline prices are going to go down. I'm not convinced that is actually going to happen. And I'm not convinced that we're really ever going to have control over the Strait of Hormuz ever again. I don't know.
Well, they say it seems less likely now because right now the Iranians have control over the Strait of Hormuz. It's right. More in their territorial waters than anyone else's. And they have the military hardware to do that right now. So they do have control right now. And the other players who may share those territorial waters with them just don't want the war. It doesn't help them. That doesn't help Oman. That doesn't help Qatar to have the war. So even if at first many were saying, look, if President Trump starts this, he's going to have to finish it. Otherwise, we'll be left at the mercy of a neighbor who is angry and wounded and likely to strike out. And sure enough, right now, that is what is happening. And how much military assistance and materiel can we give them when we've got troops spread out all across the world? So we're thinning our resources and opening up fronts in other areas. I think the thinking used to be in the military, you don't fight. You fight as few wars as you can at a time. You don't want to open up different fronts. And now we've got troops stationed. We got our sailors stationed off Cuba, and Venezuela is still active. We are at war we are at war helping Israel in Lebanon. And the president was trying to get Netanyahu to back off that. But all of those require our resources. They require our intelligence agencies to be involved. We send them drones. One of the reasons Israel is so effective in what it's done is because they are part of the American war machine. So they derive benefit from that, right? So that's a major commitment.
Yep. So I wanted to shift gears.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that you got some guests coming on. I got two other things I wanted to talk about really quick.
Sure.
Paris, you brought this up when I told you I was going to be on the East Coast for a minute, and something that was going on in Philadelphia, right? The People's House. And there's a place in Philadelphia called the People's House. And they've been renovating it and whatnot, but the building itself has always been a civic touchstone. And if folks don't know, Philadelphia was the nation's first capital before it moved to D.C., right? But this particular place, the People's House, is a place where abolitionists met, where early labor organizers gathered, where neighborhood leaders held forums long before community engagement was a buzzword. For generations, Philadelphians treated it like a shared living room for democracy. When you walked in, you learned something, you felt connected to the city's full story, the beautiful parts and the painful parts. That's why the current administration changes hit such a nerve. They moved forward with a renovation package that tightened access, added new security checkpoints, and reclassified areas that had always been open to the public. But the real spark, the moment this turned from frustration to outrage, came when the updated exhibits and signage quickly removed or downplayed the building's ties to slavery and early Black history. Panels about the enslaved people who lived and worked on the grounds disappeared. References to the role of black labor in buildings construction were taken out. Imperative material about early abolitionist organizing was rewritten or removed entirely. Officials called it modernizing the visitor experience. But to many residents, especially black Philadelphians, it felt like erasing the truth, sanitizing the parts of history that make people uncomfortable. And Philadelphians responded the way they always do, by organizing. Historians and archivists held emergency teach-ins to restore the missing context. They had, like, I saw this here, and I'll continue on with reading, but these people volunteered their time, or anyone could actually volunteer their time, and they had like a binder that for each one of the panels that was removed, a person could volunteer their time to go in and actually read what was on the panels and stand in front of it, right? So community groups launched petitions demanding the materials be reinstated. Parents brought their kids to the steps to talk about why historical truth matters. Activists started hosting people's tours, walking tours that put the erased history back into the narrative. And at city meetings, residents packed the room demanding transparency about who made these decisions and why the public wasn't consulted. So at its core, the controversy is about ownership, not legal ownership, but emotional ownership. People are saying if this is truly the people's house, then the people deserve the full story and they deserve a voice in shaping its future. So, yeah, Texas, Houston, I mean, we're dealing with this stuff all over the United States. And it seems like kind of a revisioning of what the lost cause was, right? Where people put statues and different things up where they wanted it. And now it's a reversal of that, taking this information and this representation down and not really having a good reason why it perished. So that's what's happening here in Philly. And then another story, and I'll talk more about this when I get back home, but as all this talk about AI and, the Peter Thiels and Elon Musk and all the different people that are out there, Zuckerbergs and all of that, I wanted to spotlight something that doesn't get nearly enough attention. Black innovators who actually own and build in the world of artificial intelligence. Because, yes, they exist. They're leading and they're shaping the future of this technology in ways the mainstream conversation doesn't acknowledge. You've got Dr. Timnit Gebru, the founder and CEO of Distributed AI Research Institute. It's one of the most influential independent AI labs in the world. And right alongside her is Joy Buolamwini, the Ghanaian American scientist who founded the Algorithmic Justice League, the group that exposed racial bias and facial recognition systems and forced the industry to change. There's Dr. Ayanna Howard. She's a former NASA roboticist who founded Zyrobotics, using AI to make education more accessible for kids. And Rodney Sampson is building an entire ecosystem through Opportunity Hub, investing in and incubating Black-led AI startups. I hope the administration doesn't get to them. And Isoa Ighodaro and Regina Gwynn, the co-founders of Black Women Talk Tech, are helping launch a whole generation of Black women building AI companies from the ground up.
Wow.
And then founders running AI-driven companies right now, Jewel Burke-Solomon, who built PartKit, a computer vision company acquired by Amazon, Angela Benton, founder of Streamlytics, which uses ethical data and AI to put power back in the hands of consumers. There's Kevin Detner, founder of Hurdle, an AI-powered mental health platform, Paris.
Yeah.
And AI Saboti, founder of Guarana, is using AI to protect water systems across the country. So when people ask, are there any Black AI owners? The answer is yes, and not just one or two. There's a whole community of innovators building labs, launching companies, shaping policy, and pushing the field forward towards something more ethical, more inclusive, and more reflective of the world we actually live in. So I just wanted to briefly mention them.
Yes.
And we are doing some things out there in the AI world. And for those of you that are interested, that want to learn more about them, I'm going to talk a little bit more, like I said, when I get home, about specifically each one of these Black AI CEOs and what's going on with them. And
yeah, that sounds exciting too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that we need to know about and understand the role that different communities are playing in this space. And we need to support them. A lot of them are in the equity, building guardrails around AI. A lot of them are doing that kind of thing. But like I said, there's some out there in the healthcare space, education space, investing in incubating Black-led AI startups again. So just keep your eye out. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, yeah. Can we talk about the graduation for a moment? Can we talk about the joyous occasion there? And can we talk a little about the accomplishment? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Can we show some love for the sheepskin?
Yeah, let's show some love for Kamora Kehalani Francis Flanagan. Her mother is from Hawaii. She's a native, actually.
Okay.
And so the Kehalani. It's not something that she just picked out of a hat to align with the K. Really, really proud of her. I actually have two granddaughters that are close in age. Their birthdays are actually a week apart.
Okay.
So once we attend this graduation here, we'll be back home and celebrating the other with Camille. So yeah, we do have a K trend in the family with the naming of some of the granddaughters. But yes, Kamora is graduating from high school. So we're excited about that. We don't get a chance to see her all the time, so we wanted to come here and support her and celebrate with her. So the festivities will. The graduation ceremony itself will be at Drexel University, and we're really excited for her. And
what was the field of study? What was her field of study?
Oh no, this is high school.
High school, okay.
This is high school. But she is going on to Villanova.
Oh, okay, that's good.
To Villanova. And so she wants to be a nurse, actually a nurse practitioner.
Really?
So that's so she's going into the healthcare.
I may meet her. I may meet her. I met everybody else in the profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're excited for her. We're really proud of her. Me and her papa. So we're here to support.
All right, good. I am glad you guys enjoyed our regard, our love to Mr. Flanagan, to Mr. Lonnie there, and glad that you guys are enjoying yourselves. So we do.
Oh, yeah.
We thank you so much. I've got the Ratcliffe family coming on. I've got the esteemed members of the Ratcliffe family. We're going to talk about food. We are going to talk about farming. We are going to talk about June 13th and Black history and farming and all of the other contemporary social information and cultural information that we need to know about those topics. So, too bad you aren't in town here for us to fill you in and join, but what you're doing is really important. Of course, family love. Speaking of family, that's it. So I'm sure you understand.
Oh yeah, I definitely have a question.
Yes.
That I hope you will note for them.
Okay.
I'm curious. All of the immigration. The folks that are being deported. A lot of the people that are working in farming.
Yes.
I'm just curious as to what do they see, or how do they see making farming, getting younger people enthusiastic about farming.
I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him because this is cattle farming. But I have to explain that to the audience as well, and so they can break that down for us too. They're in a very highly competitive industry, I presume, and they are a part of the national conversation now because we talk about. We do talk about food availability, and we want to know when the price of meat goes up. And they probably have other products and services too. So we're going to get into that with them. But I certainly will ask them about cowboying and farming, and and help on the farm. I'd like to know how all of that affects the price of our food, right? So we can talk about all of that and the career opportunities there. So we will. Yeah. But
definitely be curious to learn more about that.
Yeah.
And especially now that I can go to YouTube, guys, if you haven't done that, now you can, if you have a graduation or something that you need to attend where you're not there to hear the guests, you can go back and listen to these shows on YouTube.
12:30. So you can go to 12:30 The Source YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We are right there. Please make it a point to do just that, and you'll be able to find us on. You'll be able to find us on YouTube. So, join us right here. Yes.
Just a tease for later this month on the 26th, we'll have Brian Combs, who is the director with the USDA, and he'll be talking about ranchers, farmers, census that goes along with that. So we'll get some details in regards to a lot of what these ranchers and farmers are talking about.
Yes.
That they're reporting to the USDA. So we'll get a chance to kind of chop that up with him later this month. So
yes.
The segment continues.
All right. So that's very good. All right, Lydia, I want to thank you so much, and love to the family, of course. And we thank you. All right. Have a good weekend. All right. We are The Source. I am Paris. We've got the Ratcliffes coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to resume a conversation that we had about a week ago, before the gremlins got into the system there, and now we're able to bring you that all-important conversation. So you stay there and stay tuned. We are The Source.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m., only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
A group formed by brothers in Jersey City, New Jersey. A group that were like brothers, formed in Tuskegee, Alabama. They had us dancing back in the day. They had us dancing back in the day. It's Cool and the Gang.
Yes, it's late at night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's late.
And Archie Bell and the Drills.
Everybody.
Versus the Commodores. And Casey and the Sunshine Band. So get ready. Coming soon on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
WeServiceUnlimited.com. WeServiceUnlimited.com. 833-937-3788. 833-937-3788. Well, hello! It's getting hot in here. You don't need to worry or have no fear, 'cause we serve. We serve you. Fix anything you think is nothing we can't do, 'cause we serve. We serve you. We serve you. Oh, we serve.
Big job, small job. Call We Service Unlimited 833-937-3788 or go to WeServiceUnlimited.com.
Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly, or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
Okay, I'm anxious to do this morning. I am eager to do this. And it's great when you have wonderful guests, relevant guests with information and insight about a topic that engages people, and that is what this is. It is elevated in my mind because it's June, and June is the time for Black Music Month. We look at the history of the entertainment business, particularly black music and its role in there, and also Juneteenth, and that's truly a focus here in Texas, and now more so than ever in other parts of the country and in the world. Actually, more people know about that, and I think that I observed that our guests this morning are particularly relevant to the conversations about our history, about Juneteenth, and about our society. It is a mark of their values that we celebrate, and this is the time to do it. I want to take a look at their success, their trials, and their challenges through the lens of this family. It was called to my attention by our friend, brother, and our guy, Derek Jabril, because it flows out of a conversation that we were having about the difficulties of black farmers. And there were some people in Louisiana who were struggling, and we talked about it on the air, and it was more of a cautionary tale that we were telling. And Derek called and said, you know what, Uncle P, look, here's the deal. There are some people who are really who are farming and being successful with it. And I asked him for some reference, and he said, yeah, and I thought, and I read what was being written about them, and I think now is a wonderful time. I think the timing is just right to tell their story, because it is a tale of family values, it is a tale of work ethic, it is a tale of building community. And I wanted them here to do it in their own voice. I could not do it justice, to be honest with you. And so I thought maybe we should have them here. And thanks to Derek, he reached out. They are here. When they were first on, as I said, we had those glitches, and they were so accommodating. Look, we will come there to do it because this is important to us, and this is how we want to tell our story. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet Mr. Wesley Ratcliffe and his daughter, Kimberly. Kimberly and Wesley Ratcliffe are here with us this morning, and I gotta say that my introduction was through their current success. So I want to go back. I want to find out how Ratcliffe Company came to be. Ratcliffe Premium Meats, how it came to be, what started it, and I got to tell you, I've been using the term farmers, but it may be more accurate to say cattle farmers. Is that the correct? Is that
farmers, ranchers?
Farmers, ranchers. That's the word I was looking for, because that's what the outfit is named. That's where you park your cattle, right, on the ranch, right? Okay, all right then. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wesley Ratcliffe and his daughter Kimberly are here, and I'd like to know how the Caney Creek Ranch came to be. Caney Creek Ranch.
Caney Creek Ranch.
Yes, sir.
I'm Wesley Ratcliffe.
Yes, sir.
And you could say I had a little dream a long time ago. We had a winning football team in Livingston, Texas, Dunbar High School. And what would happen, there was a guy who would come down there and watch all our games. He was a big-time lawyer here in Houston. He wasn't African-American, but he did want to see us play football. Then he would accommodate us during the summer with jobs on his place. He had a nice spread. It was at that time that I decided someday I want to do that. I didn't know how, when, or what would happen, but I had a dream that I could do what he was doing to some degree. Fortunately, I didn't give up on that idea, and since I didn't give up on it, today I am doing something very, very similar to what he's done. I think I got some pretty good-looking cows down there. People ask me about those white cows on the side of the road. Well, those white cows on the side of the road, goodly number of them belong to me. I enjoy them. Mm-hmm. Most times they enjoy me. Sometimes they don't enjoy me. We have our disagreements. Unfortunately, they're bigger than me, and they can boss me around sometimes. But if I get the right ammunition in my hand, then I can boss them around. I did kind of grow up farming somewhat. My daddy was a vigilant person. He would not give up. And he used to like to tell us a story about how he grew up. He grew up, when he got to the 7th grade, his school quit in Polk County, Texas. That's as far as you could go. So he went over to Huntsville and did the 8th grade in Huntsville. Well, Huntsville only went to the 8th grade. And Daddy didn't give up there either. He went out to Deep East Texas and went to school there. They went to the 9th grade. Well, after the 9th grade, they had to do something, and they opened a high school up in Houston, Texas, called Phyllis Wheatley High School. And Daddy was one of the first students to go to Phyllis Wheatley. Country boy, country as they come. But the coach there decided, if you're a country boy, can you run? And he found out Daddy could run. And he took full advantage of Daddy running. He gave him a football, put it on his arm, said, don't let him catch you. This coach ended up owning some pharmacies here in Houston for some time. I'm trying to think of his name. But he had several pharmacies that he...
Well, I got a sports guy here, not here right now, but he will probably know. He'll fill us in the backstory. His name is Ralph Cooper. He's legendary.
I've heard of Ralph
right,
Cooper.
yes, yeah.
Anyway, Dad would always take us over to eat at this particular drugstore because he wanted the coach to tell us about what his dad had done when he played football. Fortunately, I was able to play a little bit when I was in high school as well, and we continued to do fairly good. But during the summer months, I had to do something, and the jobs that we had were twofold. You could do what we call tote pup wood, or you could work on a farm. I didn't want to tote pup wood because most of the people who toted pup wood had little knots on their shoulder from lifting those sticks up. We didn't have the machines to pick them up and put them on the trucks.
Ah, okay.
And so they would find little knots on their shoulder from picking the sticks of wood up. So I decided to go the other direction, and I don't regret doing it because I ended up liking it. We used to see who could haul the most bales of hay in a given day without falling out, because it'd be hot. And when you say hot, it would be hot. We make a game out of it. You make a game out of it. It's surprising how easy it is to do something, and that's what we would do. I still remember my senior year of going to Prairie View. I took a bale of hay in my hand, and I told the man I was working for, see this bale of hay? I've been lifting for the past 4 years with you because I needed a little money. The next time I pick a bale of hay up, you know what that means? I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it because I want to. And I still can haul hay, old as I am.
Yeah, okay.
I can still pick up a couple bales of hay and throw them on the truck. And I won't be dead at the end of the day. I can still hold it. So, but no, it's something that's a passion that can grow with you. It's a passion that has grown with me. And I enjoy getting out in the open and doing things like feeding cows, catching cows. Every now and then the cow catch you, and you try not to let them catch you wrong. So that happens.
It's interesting that you would say that appealed to you when you said you went to the farm and the man was doing different things on the farm, and you were new to that environment that he was in, but you said there were things that he was doing that you knew you were interested in it. But yet the cows were ornery, right? I mean, you were having to do that too as a young man. What part of it was the most appealing to you that he did? You were saying some things didn't seem to move you as much as other things did.
Well, what I enjoyed seeing was a calf being born. 6 months later, that same calf was a beautiful animal, ready to come to somebody's plate. It take a little longer to get them fat, but that was the ultimate goal for them.
And then it takes a little while to get them to the table, too.
That's correct. It takes a little while to get them to the table. Yeah. But I was able to figure out, why is he doing this?
Yes.
And then I said, maybe he's making a little change in the process of doing that.
Okay.
And maybe someday I might be able to make a little piece of change doing some of the same thing. Okay. Find out real quick, making change is difficult.
Yes.
It's not easy. Yeah. I don't care what business you're in. It is difficult.
Yeah.
But we've been able to close our books each year and not make a fortune, but to enjoy what you're doing. And I do enjoy it.
Where was your first piece of property? Where did you actually?
The first piece of property I purchased was near Huntsville, Texas. It was a family plot. And since it was a family plot, it wasn't my family, it was my wife's family. I decided to be a little judicious in handling that.
Yes.
And I let her family take that back. and I went and purchased me a piece of property in Lovelady, Texas.
Okay.
And I still have that piece of property I purchased in Lovelady, Texas.
Do you what did you stock it with? Okay, so now we got the farm, right? Now now we got the property.
So his first purchase was 1975.
Okay.
So
okay.
He's been in the industry since 1975.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, so you worked
young.
and did. Yeah.
I don't know if I was younger now.
Yeah. You would get from there. Okay. So take us back to. You're going into business for yourself now as a rancher. Did you have any other business before you bought those?
I had some H5s that I was doing.
What are H5s? I'm sorry.
When I purchased the land in Lovelady, I was working at NASA, and I enjoyed my work at NASA. I was a scientist there with NASA.
Okay.
And,
wow, what a story! What a story! Yeah.
And it's.
I was at NASA. Yeah. Right. Okay.
The day we went to the moon, we all had a joyous time to find out the stuff we've been working on really worked.
Yes.
Will it get us there? Will it not get us there?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just me alone. It was a whole crew of people. Each one had little components that they worked on. I was fortunate that I had a manager's manager who found out that I was not as dumb and stupid as some people thought I was. And he would call me into his office frequently, me and another guy from North Carolina State. And he would give us a problem that needed to be solved before we went on the next mission. And we would work on that problem.
Sort of like Hidden Figures, sort of like that, right? Did you see that movie?
I did see that movie, Hidden Figures.
Was it that rang?
No, that's a little before me. Hidden Figures was a little bit before me. We had real computers when I was there. I had to learn how to program computers.
Oh wow!
We had to do our own programming, and it worked out real good. I enjoyed that job.
Yeah.
Until we got to the moon. And once we got to the moon, we didn't have a definition as to what we were going to do next. So I decided to leave. I left and started teaching at Prairie View and then Texas Southern, and I taught school there. I wasn't teaching rocket science though. I was teaching mathematics. But I'd been a math physics major while I was in school, and it turns out those formulas that you learn, they work.
Wow!
If you apply them properly, they will work.
You hear that? You hear that? Play this back for your grandkids too. Play this back for your grandkids.
It takes a little effort though to get there. It's not an easy road, but you can get there if you decide to put the telephones down. And we didn't have telephones when I was coming along, sticking our ear. But you put those down, it's surprising what you can learn. And I did learn something. Plus, I had a professor who was dedicated to us. He made sure that we learned what we were supposed to learn. And he would test us on it, he would quiz us on it, and he would do everything he had to do to make sure that we wouldn't embarrass him, because he felt proud of his students. And we were proud of him too. So it worked out both ways.
All right. So now we've got the background, got your background, what you were doing then, and then now you purchased the land. Now you purchase the land, and you get your first what do you call it? First flock. Cow, what?
Yeah, I did. I had maybe 25 cows in, and it was enough to keep me busy. But I was a weekend farmer.
You had that many, and you were a weekend farmer.
Every weekend I'd go visit and make sure I still had 25.
Right.
So sometimes they'd escape.
Okay.
And if they escape, you want to go get them. And you learn how to ride a horse, so you can go pick yours out of the crowd and bring yours home where they're supposed to be. But one evening we were driving, and at this time I'd moved to Dallas. We were driving back from Lovelady to Dallas, and I saw this sign, said, "For sale." My wife got mad at me. What's the matter? I said, "Oh, I see this sign over here. I want to see what it says." She said, "You can read that sign from here." So I want to read it well.
Yes.
I went over and I read it. I got the phone number, and I called the guy up. He really wanted me to have that land. And we worked up a deal where I was able to buy the land and some of the cattle that were on the land. So it worked out real good. And that's where I really, really got my start. I bought a herd of what we call Charbray cattle. I was one of the few dealers that dealt in Charbray. But I had customers from all around who loved the cows that we were doing. So I still have some.
How pretty they were.
Yeah.
They're good cattle. they can be a little rough because they got that Brahma. They got a little Brahma in them. And I'll share with you, last week, me and one of them had a disagreement. And when you have those disagreements with Cal, somebody's going to lose. So I almost lost. Came close to lose, but I didn't do so. I got the cow where I wanted to have the cow. Now, the guy wanted the bull, and I had a beautiful bull. And once he wanted him, I put him in the trailer. Yeah. He said, I really need to put a brand on him. I said, let's put a brand on him. I let him out. We put that hot iron on that bull. No, golly, he got upset.
Yeah.
Before it was over, we got together. And I feel sore still from him getting together.
That's great.
That's all part of the business.
So it first started when you had
started
her
with me buying something in Love Lady.
Yeah,
really.
Buying something in Love Lady, and then you. How soon before you started selling them?
He didn't buy the second one until 2002.
Yeah, it was a while before I moved to the bigger one. I had to decide what I was going to do in life.
Okay.
And my decision came easy when the company decided to downsize. I was working for IBM at the time.
Okay, so you're still working on it. That's what I'm trying to get straight
went
with.
From Texas Southern to working from IBM.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I saw an opportunity to invest some of the monies that I had accumulated while I was working for IBM.
Okay, yeah.
And I tell kids this all the time, too. Get in these programs that the companies have, 401ks and those type of things.
Yes.
I was able to buy it and get it financed without having to use all my money.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time, I don't like to spend my money.
Yeah. Smart man.
I'd rather spend somebody else's money.
Yes.
And I was able,
OPM.
and I was able to do that and
Yes.
purchase the place. And I paid it off not too long afterwards, just through judicious spending. I'll say it that way.
Sure.
I don't waste very much. My wife didn't believe in that either. So
That's good.
we had a meeting of the mind on that,
Yes.
and that made a difference. But we, at the peak, I had over 500 cows, mama cows.
Wow.
And it was fairly good. It was good business, good living. A lot of work.
Yes.
How many children did you have at this?
Well, my children were all too small. I had two guys who worked for me at the time. One of them had been at the ranch forever, and he was good. And we could either get on a horse and go get him, or we could get on a four-wheeler and go get him. I preferred the four-wheeler because they could not run me when I was on the four-wheeler. On the horse, I had to head across that pasture and hope he wouldn't step in a hole somewhere and break a leg or something.
Yeah.
Of course, on the four-wheeler, I had to make sure that I wouldn't run in a hole and break a neck or something.
Yeah, right.
But it worked out well. Quite well.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so now we are talking about getting help on the farm from family.
Right.
All right.
And I think that's a good transition because he did buy the operation in 2002, and I fortunately stayed in New York, or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, in New York once my dad, I guess, transitioned from working in Brooklyn to purchasing the ranch. And I ended up going to college there, ended up working for a financial information firm.
Now, this is Kimberly Ratcliffe.
Yeah, Kimberly Ratcliffe.
Kimberly
Yes,
Ratcliffe,
thank you.
Wesley's daughter. Yes.
Yeah, and I grew up just along with them. Like he said, we always lived in rural America, and I was the horseback riding girl, the gardening girl, all of the above. I always say I've never seen my brothers on a horse, but I've been the one on a horse, even though they say they've been on a horse. But I was that person, and I was also the one that was the only one not in Texas. And I lived in New York.
And you were working in
yes, I worked
Bloomberg,
at Bloomberg.
I believe.
I worked at Bloomberg.
Yep.
I did public relations and marketing for them. I actually started in college working as an intern and then worked my way up all the way through the company to be marketing and public relations. And it really hit me that the year that my dad bought the ranch in 2002, still having those conversations, because no matter what, how far your child is, you still check on them on a daily basis, and having those daily conversations while my parents were at the ranch. And I had a hard time with it, right? I'm in an institution that is dependent on the product that we are producing as farmers on a daily basis. And as that institution, you are also predicting the pricing that goes back down to us. It doesn't matter how good of a farmer you are. Doesn't matter how good of a crop you make. The pricing system is still dictated out of your control. And I saw it more and more with the market that I was in. And it reached a point one time, and on top of that, when you start missing family functions and you start missing Christmases and you start missing all those great times at the ranch, it's a combination. So it reached a point that I decided that I was going to find a way to get back home. So I put my application in to go to school at Texas Christian University. And it's a very great university. They have a ranch management program. They accept about 20 to 25 students a year. And I remember I would fly in, and I don't think my parents knew what I was flying home for. Back then, there was no Zoom interviews for colleges, right? You actually had to do your college interview in person. So I did my college interview in person. At the time, they didn't know what I was doing because I wasn't sure if it would be accepted for me to come home, because I'm in corporate America, and of course, going from corporate to farming, pay cut was huge.
Yes.
Pay cut was really huge in that part. And so when I did finally make it, I had to tell my parents that I was accepted in this program and I'm coming home. My parents didn't believe me at first, I don't think. They didn't believe that I was going to actually stay. It took a while for them to be convinced. But I did stay. And at that moment, I ended up also finishing Texas Christian, which was, again, one of the best programs, but it was also a culture shock for me. It was a culture shock because I realized that there was no one looking like me ever graduate from that program.
Really?
So I was one of the first African Americans ever to graduate from that program.
Whoa.
So it became a little culture shock for all of us, but it made me realize maybe my purpose was a little different for coming home.
How long did it take you?
It was just a year program because most of the farmers, they really can't miss a program longer than a year.
Yes.
You really can't be off the farm longer than a year. So they kind of crammed it all in 1 year program. Yes. And then once I completed the program, I came back home, and it became a community that my dad and parents did a great job of really adjusting into that community. And it became a community that everyone was like, oh my gosh, this woman left Paul Street and came back to this community where it's less than 1,000 people living here. Yes. And there was more people living in my skyrise, right?
Yes.
Than
yes.
living in that one community.
Yes. Yes.
So what is this person coming back for? And they really had to put their eyes on me and figured it out. And it became a point of, I realized it was more than me that I was coming home for, right? It was maybe my chance to build a community that was already existing, don't get me wrong, but have a voice for the community, right? That maybe didn't have a voice before. So there was a time where we would all come together at the ranch, and they would be like, Kim, you are the resource because you've gotten some knowledge that maybe the community hasn't had before. What can we do with that resource? So we started a nonprofit at first. And the nonprofit was just an opportunity to bring us together and bring the resources together and also celebrate each other. Right. And realize there's reasons to come back to the community, because I think a lot of times we don't know what the reason is to come back, right? Mm-hmm. We have to create those reasons, create those resources to come back. And that nonprofit slowly transitioned to an opportunity for us to say, okay, what does everyone have? Everyone has cattle. So we had an opportunity to start combining our cattle and selling them. Right? And then one or two would be like, Kim, can you keep one of the cows back for me? Because, who hasn't had a half cow, whole cow? Who hasn't eaten all that great food and that delicious food off a half whole cow? And can you keep one or two of those back for me? And we would do it because we were already feeding for our Charbray bulls, right? All these bulls we were already doing, so it wouldn't be hard to do it for an additional one. And they would come back and say, that was the best meat we ever had. Yes. And I said, you know what? I might have something here. I might have a way that we can tell our community story beyond this. Right. So I'm like, can I buy a couple of your cows here and there and take them to the farmer's market? Right? So I ended up taking them to the farmer's market in Frisco, and that was my first little meat market, and it wasn't really a company necessarily full blown. Right. And I have an opportunity, again, I love being an opportunity to tell the story of our community. So I do a lot of speaking engagements across the nation. And there's been times I would get up and tell the story of what I'm trying to accomplish, and there'll be someone in the audience. And there was one time someone from Feed America in the audience that said, okay, are you ready to feed America? I was like, I am. And before you know it, I had the contract to supply meat to the Houston Food Bank, Central Texas Food Bank. So now I'm taking my community product and feeding our local Houston community here, right? And our local Central Market community. And then there was one time I was speaking at a restaurant organization, and there was someone in the audience from Cisco Foods. And we had that conversation around, have you ever thought of distributing through Cisco Foods? And I said, it wasn't on my mind, but it's an opportunity. And as of June 10th, I will be distributing through Cisco Foods.
Yes. That is great.
So
that is great. What's the name of the company?
It's my meat company is called Ratcliffe Premium Meat. And of course, you can still go on our website. We're still in the farmer's market. There's still opportunities at the ranch. But it's just amazing how, and my dad always jokes with me that, he loves to keep the animal alive, and I love to kill him. I'm making money. He makes money while they're alive, and I'm like, I need them on the plate to make money. So it was a totally different thing, and I don't think originally that he thought this is where the company was going. We were going to be Charbray producers all our lives. But it's just surprising when you bring the community together and you see the resources that the community can provide. Now Ratcliffe Premium Meat's employing locals. I get all my feed source local, my cattle's local, my processor's local. And this is going back to the original story that my dad just told, right? This is the way it was back then.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm bringing hopefully that same generational conversation that we had back then back to the community.
Yeah, and just to set this for your audience so you'll know, she just didn't go back and make minor adjustments. The way I came across this story and the reason we were in this interview was because I was looking through a story in Ag Magazine, I think it was, and it reads, "From Wall Street to the Texas Ranch, 2025 women in agriculture." And you're like the queen of this there.
So I was named top producer 2025
top producer
of the year for women.
Yes.
Which is through the Farm Journal, which is one of the oldest farm journals out there to exist. Yeah. So it was an honor to be win that award, and of course, just an honor to follow. My dad's kind of made that platform for me.
Yes, so we talked about the little tension there in a moment. Not serious tension, but the tension between taking a step further, having something that you finally gotten control of, and you're going to do it your way, and then someone comes along with something.
We definitely had a tension at first. I remember when I first came home, I was probably fired like 5 times.
My wife.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, because I wanted it my way. I just finished school, right?
Yeah.
I just finished this institution that is globally known to bring out some of the best ranch managers out of the world, and you're not listening to me. So I was definitely fired. I don't know how many times.
Wesley?
She and my wife would get into a discussion on a daily basis on whether she had a job today or not. I tried to stay away from those discussions because it was a female to female, and it's a lot easier for them to argue about it than for me to sit there and referee. So,
we're arguing and we have dinner tonight. That's just the way it is. You have your disagreement, and before you know it, we're cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah. When did it begin to feel right? When did her argument begin to make sense to you? And when did his position? Well, on this particular area about the growth, about what you're going to be doing, Now,
when I saw that there was an opportunity for her to sell meat in a different fashion, not necessarily on the hoof.
Yes.
Then I bought in.
Okay.
Buying in was difficult because that was not the road that I wanted to travel. But sometimes you don't.
We got the same kind of beard, so I know what you're talking about. We got the same kind of beard.
Sometimes you don't necessarily travel that road which you really want to go. You have to listen.
Yeah, you do.
So I decided to listen a little bit. And I listened, and she had a passion for it.
My man. I
will do what I can to make you successful, and I've done that.
Yeah, they've been great support. And I should say this also. So this was originally my idea to start this company. But the beautiful thing about our story is the beautiful thing, and the things that just happen in life. My mom passed away in 2019 from breast cancer, and at that point, my dad decided that he was going to put the land in a trust, right? And my dad is over the trust, but, you know, if anything was to happen to my dad, it's my siblings now that will be over the trust.
Sure.
And I lease everything from the trust. Everything that I do is the trust owns.
Right.
So to make it clean and make it easier, I've made my brothers partners of the ranch.
Sure.
So of Ratcliffe Premium Meats.
Right.
And that was probably one of the best decisions that I could have made. It made them see more on why the ranch is existing.
Right.
And why it made them see the profitability potential of the ranch. And it's brought us closer as siblings. A lot of people say business brought you closer. Business brought us closer. I talk to my siblings almost every day. It might be business talk, but in between those business talk, I find other updates.
Right.
And we didn't do those kind of conversations anymore. So I think it's a beautiful thing that it's happened, that it's something that I created, and now my brothers are like asking me every day, how can I help you? What do you need help with?
That's beautiful.
You know, and it's become a really beautiful story on how I created a company. And they'll quickly say I'm the brains behind it. If you ask my brothers, and I'm the baby. My brothers are older than me, so I am the baby of the group. But it's just a beautiful thing to see them stepping in on whatever I need to get this accomplished, because they see that, you know, it used to be the Charbray, but now it is Ratcliffe Premium Meats that is the future of the ranch.
Let's do a little brand marketing here. Let's talk about the quality of meat, the Charbray. What distinguishes it from other?
We should separate the two. We should separate the two, right? Okay. The Charbray is really just a breeding cattle. That's not my meat cattle. So I do not use that for my meat resources. Because of the Charbray breed itself. It's a lot slicker because of the Brahman, so it doesn't have the hair and stuff. So it's really adjustable for climate areas. So it's really adjustable for anywhere you have high mosquitoes, high heat tolerance, all of that. Right. Compared to what people are used to is the Angus breed. The Angus breed has a lot of hair.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we say when you look in a pasture, ours will be out there grazing in 100-degree weather, and the Angus will be in the water. So if you're living in those hot climates, that's the kind of breed you want. So a lot of times people have to have cattle based on their climate.
So y'all did this little science.
Yeah, so it's a little science behind it. So that's what we have, and it's one of those breeds that we've loved. Because it's one of those breeds, like my dad said, when he bought the ranch, it came with the operation. Now, when I have a meat side of the business, I need something that's going to be marbled, that's going to be tender. And I'm not saying the Charbray breed doesn't have that.
Right.
But they haven't been researched as much as some of these other breeds that have it. So a lot of times we'll buy a lot of our local cattle in the community based on the known end factor of what that meat's going to bring us.
Now, Derek, you've got an interest in all things community oriented.
Yes.
And you brought this to my attention because we were discussing, we all, as we always discuss during our conversations on this station, what is good for the community? How can we all participate? How can we do some lifting how can we distribute it more evenly so it can make the load lighter for somebody else? And Derek is you always thinking in that matter. So how did you meet them, and how did you come to know about them?
Well, for one thing, it was your conversation about how the farmers there in Louisiana was losing their farm, and by being, with members of the Nation of Islam, and I know how people in that group, they always try to think community in the whole. So they look. So if you go and look at the farms that the Nation has, which is in Georgia and also in Michigan, those farms are actually thriving when everybody else's farm around them is not doing so hot. and so I just came across Kimberly, and boy, I just fell in love with that story. And fell in love with Pops.
Well,
listening to him.
That's it. I was on the air. He was talking, and he was saying he was a little emotional there too. He was saying, "You talk about listen, let me tell you something. This sister out there is doing this on this farm and blah blah blah." I said, "Cool, I got to check it, right?" And I did, because it's the kind of story we want to do. And now that we've got it, I'm so glad to meet Mr. Wesley. Yes. As well. This is a generational story. It is a love story. It's a family story. It's a story about family ethics. And the other piece I have for you right now is you opened up the community and showed that profitability and being a good corporate neighbor could work together. You tell us a little about that. I think
it's important to show these stories of family dynamics in our community too.
Yes.
And I always say this is how the sometimes the hardest thing that I hear in our community, especially in our Black farming community, is the older generation not allowing the younger generation to come through with their fresh ideas.
Yes.
On how to improve an operation.
Is that widespread in the industry?
I get calls all the time, and I get questions all the time. It's like, how did you do it with your dad? Like, how did you convince your dad to allow you? Because I'm using the resources that he has created over generations, right?
Yes, yeah.
And how it's, and a lot of times it's the wet, sweat, and everything. It took him from the story of when he was in high school, right? Of wanting this dream to now.
Right.
And this was really his dream, right?
Right.
And how did you allow your dad to take your dream now?
Right.
And change his dream to a degree? It's still using the same platform, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, Dad, you said you wanted to have cows and you like to have the baby cows. I'm not having baby cows. I'm buying cows now. Right. So it's a totally different system. So how did you do that? And I think a lot of it is, I hope our story, and that's one thing I hope our story shows, is that it is possible, and how the next generation sometimes needs to allow the younger generation to come in with fresh ideas. Right. Look what they can get.
We need this story now in every aspect of it. It is another version of what's going on in the political landscape. It doesn't matter whether it's the ministry or religion or education.
Right.
We need reform. We need to reform some of the institutions that we have, and yet not lose the values that made them work in the beginning.
Right. That's what really turned me on to them, because I'm listening when I hear Kimberly speak. I'm hearing the experience of our ancestors from way long ago, because let's see, the slavery ended back in 1865, and from 1865, and I believe when the story started picking up with the USDA. There's always been that long line of discrimination, because the USDA came into play in 1862. So when I thought about 1865, between 1865 and 1880, what were our people doing in order to survive after coming out of slavery? That's 60 years of out of slavery. Black people actually had started their own townships. And the most important person that was there, when I started studying that, I seen that it was the farmer, the black farmer.
Lifeline of the community. Yeah.
And looking at the times in which we live in today, why are you panicking? Our people have been through this. If you would just go reach back to the 1800s and study what our people was doing to survive, they wouldn't get given any subsidies from the USDA. What did they do to survive? So when I hear my sister talk, man, I'm hearing nothing but vision. But I'm hearing the vision of the ancestors pouring into her and the ideals that she have, man. I mean, she came back from New York with a mind. She already was dealing with finances. And then you in a concrete jungle where you got all people. Uncle P was there too, and he knows how it was in those streets trying to walk and get around. It's just so much population density that's just sitting there, you know. But how did she And when I'm looking at her, I'm wondering, how did she get to the point to where she just had the idea just to come up and start a mini distribution amongst themselves and amongst the neighbors as well?
I think a lot of it was resource driven. Sometimes and this is just, sometimes we'll go into a business and just want to start a business because that's something we love.
Yes.
And it might not be the right thing to start.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So I'd be honest, when I came home, I didn't think it was meat. Right? I came home because we had a Charbray cattle. And at that time, we were showing Charbray cattle at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo, the San Antonio Rodeo. We were at all these rodeos really showing our cattle at these rodeos. And I thought that was going to be the industry I was going to be in. And it really was the community that made me vision a total different business opportunity.
Yes.
So a lot of times we need to sit and figure out where we are and what community we have and what resources we have before we build anything. And I think that's what that's what I did. I sat and I realized what the needs were, what the resources were, and then I built.
You prepared yourself to present change.
Right.
So that it's not just like, because I'm your daughter, it's because I've got this, it might have begun with because I'm your daughter. But
definitely.
The family connection is always.
Some genetics have passed back. But
Yeah.
I think the also key thing is that I built the community, like the resources. So.
Wow. Yeah. I like the story and the vision that you're sharing because I can actually see it. While you're speaking, I can actually see it. And I think that's what a lot of us need to do nowadays is open our minds up to hearing. Because even though Sister said her and Dad be going backwards and forwards, but look at the beauty of it. You got some daughters and children don't even talk to their father.
Yeah.
They can grew up all their life with their father, and then when the father get ready to pass, they can't get up and say not one word about their father.
What's it like for the younger generation coming in now? You just gave us a feel for it when you said you have younger people calling you. I suppose younger people are leaving some of these farms, no matter what kind they are, for many reasons. I guess some have just gotten tired of rural life, or for many other reasons. I guess many of them don't go into the business anymore, or perhaps some people who've had that farm for a long time just don't want to turn it over, as you say. What do you think about younger people coming? Where are you getting your workers from today?
There are young people who don't want to put up with the work that's required.
That's what it is. Yep.
There are some who love it.
Yes.
And what I do, I look for those who love it. If I can find those that love it, then we can get along quite well. When I first started, there was a guy who lived across the street from me. He grew up a farmer, and he died a farmer. And poor Charlie could work. And he made my job easier because I knew if I couldn't do it, Charlie could do it. Strong man.
Yes.
Strong-willed.
Yes.
Not overly educated, but smart. You know, we could break something.
Yes.
And it had been engineered forever. Charlie could go out there and say, oh, no, boss. Let's just take this here. We put this with this and this with that, and it'll work.
Yes.
And that's all I want to do is work anyway. So.
That's how it works. Yeah. We've got callers. You want to take some calls?
Sure.
Okay. All right. 713-668-1230. I'm speaking with Wesley and Kimberly Ratcliffe. We're talking about Caney Creek Ranch and the farms and their business out there. And definitely we're talking about this premium meat, because I want to get back to that and how the supply lines like and all of that. And our guy, DJ Derek Jabril, is here with us this morning as well. So let me say good morning to you, caller. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning, everyone. Lady Ratcliffe, I have a couple questions for you. And you mentioned it earlier. You're living in the city, working for Bloomberg, a fast-paced city, and especially the big company of Bloomberg. And you just you mentioned it yourself, culture shock. I mean, that is a big. I mean, how did you manage it, and how do you keep now family and business Do you keep it separate? I mean, that's not easy in itself. I mean, many people have tried, and it doesn't work a lot of times, but it works for you guys. I mean, and last but not least, TCU, corn frogs. Now, when I go to the restaurant, what should I look for in my steak? Is it just a matter of preference? Give me some tips. I like a steak, but I don't know anything about where it comes from. Or
a good question, though. Good question, though.
Yeah.
People just about say, well, like this.
Yeah. I'm impressed. Thank you.
Yeah, I think a good question is, how do you do the work balance between family and business? For us, I always tell people it kind of goes back to our childhood as siblings. There is a little bit of age gap between my brothers and I. And I think they were excited to have a sister when I was finally born. Yes. And my mom did a good job of making sure my brothers took care of me. I remember when we lived in Houston at time in Astroworld. If everyone remembers the Astroworld.
Right across the street.
And my brothers, we would have season tickets, and I guess back then you could drop your kids off, right?
Oh yeah,
you can tell them to be back at a certain time, and they're on that corner.
That's right.
And my mom would always say, you guys have season tickets, but the first hour you're going to take your sister on every ride in that Astroworld. And you're going to make sure she has a time of her life. And an hour from now, meet me at this corner, and then you can have freedom to do whatever you want. And I think that type of stuff has been instilled into my brothers.
That's good.
And I think when it's instilled to them as a kid, it's still taking care of their sister. And it's not necessarily the same taking care of.
Right.
But they'll call me and be like, what do you need?
Yes.
And what do you need to take care of?
Yeah.
And with that being said, that was instilled from us as little, that is still within the business side.
Values.
And we can have those tough conversations. And my brothers and I have weekly conversations about business that are business. Daily conversation might be, you need me to pick this up, all that kind of simple daily. But we have business conversations, and we can disagree. And we can say someone's pulling more than the other. Right? We can have those conversations and not get upset.
That's interesting.
And I think it's just been the calmness of my dad and my mom. When there is a disagreement, we can talk it through.
Yes. Sure,
okay,
go ahead.
Kimberly, how many brothers do you have?
Yes. So I have two brothers, because everyone used to think I'm an only child, and I'm not. I have two older brothers, and they're actually, both of them are at the ranch while we're here today. So they're joining us for the weekend at the ranch. I have an older brother that's an engineer. They're both engineers. Their jobs pay quite high salaries that the rapper premium me can't really pay their salaries as much. But they're both engineers living in Houston. And then my middle brother, he is the one that has the great grandkids that my dad, the twin grandkids too.
Right.
So they live in Dallas area.
They live in Dallas. Okay.
So,
all right.
Okay. And then I guess the state question, right?
Yeah.
I tell people, number one, it all depends on what you love, right? There's people that love the great marble of a ribeye,
right?
And then there's people that love the leanness of a sirloin. So it just depends on what you're cooking. I like them all, and it just depends on what I want to cook that day. Ribeyes is not necessarily everyday meat. It's definitely sometimes one of those you go into a restaurant, and you just look for a great marble, and then to me, medium is the way you want it. Anything leather, as my dad said, anything less than that can get a little leathery to me. Can get a little tougher. So it's really how you cook it, and it's really the amount of fat you want in it. And I like just that medium fat. I like to have the fat and meat ratio really 50-50. I don't like to have it more fatty. Some people like it fatty. I just like it 50-50 fat.
You're a real connoisseur.
You know
how to do it.
Some folks out here, all they just want to do is eat.
And that's really what that's our target market.
And then a lot of people are having ground beef now. And now, what about the quality?
That's the everyday, and the ground beef is key. Just for our purposes, we actually grind up brisket if you want it really, like people love the brisket juicy burgers, right? So it just depends on what you're cooking again. If you want a really juicy burger, get that brisket grind up. And get the juiciness of it, because then it's like, it's just tastes really good. And then if you're going to do meatballs, get the lean one, like the ground sirloin. So you can get from 90-10 to 8 to 60-40, that's fattier. So it all depends on what you're cooking. So I tell people every single cut is good. It just depends on if you want to have it over a salad, then you're going to do little thinner slices, right? So there's so many choices out there off of a cow. There's so many different cuts out there off a cow, right? That every cut is good, and everything has its purpose. It just depends on what you want to cook that day.
Right.
So do you do, when you make presentations at schools and you do that, do you do nutritionist
I
stuff
love this
too?
conversation. I love this conversation. I think the key to my company is that I'm more than meat, right? I am a community building company, but I'm also one that wants to community build your nutritional value.
Right.
So this past year, I worked with Prairie View A&M football team. So we were able to provide the football team with all their pre-prep meals for a whole season. It was really teaching about nutrition on a basis, after every practice, they would eat Ratcliffe premium meat meals. And really teaching about what their nutritional value is of what they put in their body after they had a really long practice.
So there's lifelong benefits.
So it's that we teach. We also have, we've done a lot at Prairie View, so I really do partner with Prairie View because I'm really proud of our HBCUs, right? Prairie View has been an ag school all their life. As you can tell, my dad used to talk about how Prairie View used to only off the ranch used to supply all the kids, all the students with their meals, right? So I'm really supportive of Prairie View and their extension, and I support them in their meat lab over there. So we do a lot of partnerships with their meat lab where we actually bring our cattle to the meat lab, and we've done something from carcass to grill. So we've taken the carcass, and the students have actually cut up the carcass. They have seasoned the carcass, and then they put it on the grill, and then people taste it.
Wow.
So we've done a lot of programs like that for the students, and we've done them also for our community ranchers, so they can actually see their own cattle. And then I think you got to see your own cattle to see how good your own cattle are. If you're producing a well-marbled, 50-50 marble, or do you need to change some genetics? So we've done a lot of that.
All right. Caller, good afternoon. Good morning. It's still morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Great guest, great sponsors. And when we talk about when Brother Derek said what did black people do after 1865, they did what they've been doing. They were running. There was farmers, there was inventors. Let's remember the inventions of the blacksmiths and the sharecropper, if you will, during that time, the golden age of the Industrial Revolution. And I suggest you look up a brother named Henry Edwin Baker. He was working at the United States Patent Office as a patent examiner. He was the third African American accepted in the U.S. Naval Academy, and in 1874. And we got the last black congressman before James Clyburn was a gentleman named George Washington Murray. He made a presentation on the congressional floor to acknowledge all the great black inventors, male and female, men and women of that era who were forgotten because, they didn't identify by race. So my question is, what are you familiar with the? You said y'all deal in meats. Are you familiar with the great stockyards of Hormel Meats and the black men who worked in the stockyards and slaughterhouses during the era of the trail rides? And are you familiar with the black men who worked in the stockyards and the slaughterhouses? And do you think horses make good meat?
Okay. All right.
I think I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff. Like, you did a great job of talking about the history of how black farmers have really been part of our community for a long time. And I will mention a little bit that we recently did a program with Jordan Peele called High Horse.
Oh, okay.
And I really would suggest people really look into that because it really talks about how we were the original jockeys.
Right? Yes,
the term black cowboy, where did cowboy come from? It was really been derogatory to our community, for a long time because there used to be boy go catch the cows, and they used to call our the white counterpart cowmen. But the term cowboy has really been taking place more than anything. And then it talks about how our land has been kind of stolen from some of us. So a lot of the history it's starting to be told.
Yes.
And Jordan Peele did a really good job in the 3-episode. We are in episode 2 of that, and our episode's talking about how we're really trying to rebuild the community, community like we used to have.
Yeah, is that Netflix?
It's on Paramount.
Paramount.
I think it's Paramount. So definitely take a look at it. Really get the history behind it, because I think a lot of what he was saying is diving into that. And it even talks about the music industry, right? How we used to have 2 different billboards.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
And how the billboards used to play the same songs, right?
That's right.
So it really dives into that history. So I am familiar with that history in general. I don't know what his other question was.
He was just recounting. He was responding to Derek's statement about what did we do, and it didn't.
After slavery.
Yeah, it didn't depart much from what you were saying, though, because food is we've had to have food no matter what.
No matter what.
So there were people who supplied food. Yes, indeed. So.
Well, you know what? I just want to go back to what Mr. Wesley was saying about working, and that's something that's becoming a lost art amongst young people. But one thing, you think that just because you get up at 5 a.m. and go to work and then you're off at 8 hours. Well, see, a farmer's life is so much different than that. When you talk about working on a farm, man, you it's like you making your battle cry soon as you wake up, because there could be a wolf out there. There could be there could be foxes. You know.
Buzzards are the worst thing for us.
Yeah.
Really. The buzzard problem.
The birds of prey.
The buzzard problem is worse.
You all really have never really seen real work until you get out there on the farm.
Well, listen, I want to return to the meat, and let's talk about the premium brand. Is there a requirement before you can grade your meat premium? Is there how does that work?
So the exciting thing about Ratcliffe Premium Meat, within the last couple months, I have gotten to be certified, and I am called Home of Texas Certified Beef. So that is my part of my brand now, and I did that because I am the home of Texas beef. That's how I certified. So I am stamped certified by USDA as Home of Texas Certified Beef, and that allowed me to put my own requirements that I want for Ratcliffe Premium Meats underneath that certification.
Right. Okay.
And it also allowed it to be Texas branded.
Right.
Now, how's that working in your supply chain? What does that? How wide is your distribution?
Yeah. So I'm working with quite a few ranchers out there. So I have some. With me expanding to the point of now having the Cisco contract, it's requiring me to harvest quite a few cattle every week.
Right.
So it had me to expand my radius beyond. It's still Texas. It can go as far as Fort Worth, which is still not far from me. Fort Worth's probably about 2 hours away, where I have people that are dedicated to produce the premium meat that I'm requiring from the local producers that still we're purchasing from. So I have gotten a couple partners that understand my specs, understand how I'm feeding the cattle. We are pasture raised, but because I'm in a program that masses are produced, I do need to give them some feed. And the reason why I tell people is you think about it, every season you have a different grass.
Right.
Which means it's going to give you a different taste of a meat. If I need a consistent taste of a meat, I need a consistent grain that I also have to supplement with them to get that consistent grain, get consistent taste. Because my consumers want to taste the same cut, the same way every time they purchase something.
That's true.
So it does require me to have that system within it. So we've just partnered with a couple of the ranches, but we are the core of the ranches, and we do most of them. But it does require us to partner with some ranches, and we do have particular brands that I buy from, and I call them brands too.
Right.
Because I believe if you're a rancher, you're a brand. You got to start branding yourself as whatever the name of your ranch is. That's your brand, because it's easier to be generational. This is not the Wesley brand. This is not the Kimberly brand. This is the Ratcliffe Premium Meat brand. so it can be passed on to generations. So really working on these ranchers to be your own brand. And come on, we're partnering with Ratcliffe. And that is my goal with a lot of these is branding. Then when you brand it, then you're becoming generational. Then you now you want to ride a wheel. Right. Now you want to ride chess because you have a brand. So working on that whole system within the meat side.
So when we hear these stories about failing family farms, when we hear about corporate farms taking over, to what extent have you been affected by that?
And I'll let my dad speak, but I will say one thing. The farms are hard because the amount of input that you have to put in a farm is tremendous. The amount of capital that you need, and take it from me, I've expanded, right? With expansion, there's no secret expansion requires a lot of capital. Mm-hmm. And getting that capital with the banking system, because they want to put a lien on your land, and the last thing you want to do is put a lien on your land.
Exactly.
So how are you going to get the capital to get it done? So there has to be unique ways that these banking systems has to do this. I've spoken in front of the Federal Reserve a couple times about these issues, right? How are we going to be unique besides trying to take the land as lien?
Right.
So there are ways you can do tractors. I know we've done tractors, we've done other things, which is a little more palatable.
Yes, okay.
But that's one thing we have to work on to keep the family farm together.
I don't mind putting up a tractor, a $500,000 tractor as collateral. I do mind putting up an acre of land for collateral.
Yes.
And I try not to ever put up an acre of land for collateral. Because in general, there's someone else who would like to have that piece of land as well. Yes. And I want it. Yeah. So it's a little conflict there.
Yeah.
I want it, he wants it. Who wants it the most?
And let's talk about your growth for a moment, because those figures jumped out at me when I saw what you say we started with small acreage, and now that number is
acreage on the ranch.
Yes.
Well, we got 1,000 plus acreage. We got a little bit more this time. But it's the acreage is definitely part of expansion, right?
Yes.
And the acreage now is not necessarily just my personal acreage, right?
Yeah.
It's having the community on board.
Yes.
To see the vision and working with them as a partner, which then they could be profitable, hopefully, and I could be profitable with it. Right. So I want to say acreage is not necessarily a caveat. It's really the partnerships that you bring together, or the leases that you can get, or ways you can make it work. So a lot of people will say land is a hindrance, because nowadays land is almost hard to make a living on it. When you're having $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 acre land that's trying to be sold now, there's no way you can make it off of agriculture for that amount of price of a land.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's going to take that community effort and that partnership and those leases and all that to really make it nowadays. So even for us, it's really the partnerships that are key to Ratcliffe Premium Meat being successful and having those long-term partnerships with other producers.
And what role does technology play?
Technology is huge.
AI, I'm thinking of. That's the latest buzzword.
So technology is huge for me. AI is there, but a lot of technology is traceability for me.
And what does that mean?
That means from the time the baby is born all the way to when it gets to your plate.
Okay.
Right. That's really where the technology for me is essential, because then it's that, I told you I'm home of Texas certified beef. And part of that home is semi-traceable, right? Because that's what the consumer wants. I'm Texas, so I have to prove that it's Texas beef.
Right.
So for me, it's a software system, and it's an electronic tag. It's the same kind of tag that you put in your dog, that you can wand on it, right? And you can be like, oh, this is the owner, this is the history behind this dog. It's had this shots, it's had this, because when you wand it, it has all that information. So having that in the cow form.
See, that's good because I can hear between both of you the conversation dealing with marketing. What one of my questions, and like I said, one thing I know, this is divinely guided here, because everything I had in my mind to ask you all, both of your stories, you all just came right on out with what I had, some of the questions I had in mind. But when you brought up about branding, that is so important, because that's what I saw your brand.
Right.
And we seen Ratcliffe Meat, and then my wife said, well, that's a black family. Yeah. I say, what? Okay, yeah, well, we buying it. We gonna find out where they at, and then my daughters and them at one point in time they was going to Tyler College, and so we would pass through Oakwood. And then I think you all have a sign with y'all picture there. And I say, man, I told her that we need to find out who this is so we can buy from them. And that goes to show you how the importance of marketing and like what you're saying, the home. Man, that's a pretty bold statement. They're the home of Texas beef.
Yeah, I think also branding is the hardest thing because it's hard to give you a return on your investment on something that you can't visually tangibly hold.
Right. Yes. That's
so it's the hardest thing for people to want to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to go invest in a calf knowing 6 months from now I'm going to get some money out of it.
Right.
My branding, it took, I would say, at least 2 years for me to really build a brand. And I remember when I first did it, my dad would be like, another TV crew here?
Yes.
Why is this TV crew here? What do these people want my picture for?
Right.
But now he sees it.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it was pulling teeth out of everyone in my family to do it.
Any media salesman will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
But generally, when money gets tight, people pull advertising first. Except Coca-Cola would be just the opposite. There were certain brands they were going to go. They were going to go in. But it's tempting to reduce that.
Right. It's very tempting to do it, but you really and it's tempting because it's not the first ad that's going to give you the money.
Right.
It's really like a year and a half from there. Oh my God, it's finally.
I think that on that branding effort, when you went with the food. What's that? The charity food
bank?
That Ratcliffe Foods, and then we're talking to you right now. They're gonna come across that in the deep freeze.
Distributing through them, it was through the. But I remember when we were distributing through Houston Food Bank, the amount of calls that I would get of the quality, number one, because they say they've never had quality meat. And it's a beautiful thing that you can get quality meat.
Wow.
And then they've never really had ground beef before.
Right.
At the Houston Food Bank. That wasn't something that they used to distribute. So a lot of the people in the community, this is the first time they've actually had ground beef like that.
See, but that's the whole key. Look at they saw the brand,
right?
And now they know the brand, and now they hearing this.
Right.
Well, you're a good corporate neighbor in media speak. You're a good corporate neighbor, and I gotta tell you, Wesley is like the Marlboro guy to me. You see here, you don't see an actor. You see a strong, sturdy man of character. He's got that beard. He's like, you remember the Marlboro ads were they had the iconic symbol with that guy because he looked like that. Wesley reminds me a little of Earl Campbell. He's got a body similar to Earl Campbell, right? I mean, you can see that sturdiness, right? You can see the strong shoulders. This man looked like he actually handled cows.
You'd be surprised, everyone that comes on that watches us either on social media or something, it's like, we love your dad. We need to see more of your dad. More of his stories.
Yeah, he's on TV now. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube right now. 12:30 YouTube.
Media. He definitely tells the stories, which is key to Ratcliffe Premium Meat. So it's important that we have these stories for historical point of views too, right?
Yes, it is.
I think it's important that we document and
document
everything via video as much as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, my goal is not to steal any thunder from my daughter and the kids.
That. Yes.
Who knows how long I'll be around?
Sure.
And they'll be around a little longer than me, so we'll take full advantage.
But but one of the good things though is it's written somewhere that your gifts make room for you. So people gravitate towards it, and we can see, people know when there's sincerity going on, and there is no skullduggery.
He's very good about letting us siblings battle it out.
Sure.
We'll ask him his opinion, he'll give it, but that's all he'll do.
Yes.
As far as anything else, we have to battle out our own issues, and he does not get involved at all.
Yes. Well, listen, I really want to thank you guys for being here, but what I want to do is extend you the opportunity to say anything that you want to say about your company. And be sure you get everything said that you want said. If there's anything I said that needed correction, just please feel free.
I
It's open
appreciate
for
this opportunity. You've heard our story, and so where can you get our product is the key thing, and I think that's the key for everyone. First, you can always go to RatcliffePremiumMeats.com, and we have all kind of packages there. Derek was talking about subscriptions. You can get monthly, weekly, daily subscriptions if you want. So that is one avenue to reach us. If you're in the Dallas area, we are at the Frisco Market there. That's been our first. I tell people when we start the Frisco Market, we started with a small ice chest. Mm-hmm. Now we have 7 big coolers, stand-up coolers now at the market, selling all kind of meat. So you can reach us there. Also, please follow us on social media. Just go to Ratcliffe Premium Meats and just follow us on social media. Follow our journey. Support this journey. And also support your other community. I tell people I love Ratcliffe Premium Meats and I want you to buy from me. But at the same time, there's many people that are in this industry. And I'm not telling you not to buy from me, but I can't feed the world.
Right.
So there's a lot of people in this industry that need the support like you're supporting us in our journey along this way. So I would love for you to continue supporting our journey. Follow us on social media. Follow everything that I have a lot more that I want to tell everyone about, but I can't.
Right.
That's going to be released soon.
Right.
So
but you'll be able to come back and tell
I'll come back and tell you a lot of other exciting things that's happening with Ratcliffe Premium Meat, that's happening with our family. But to get those updates, really follow us on social media. Go to Ratcliffe Premium Meats on any social media platform. We're on all of them. And follow our journey. Support our journey, and hopefully it inspires other people to have their own journey of success out there, and that's the goal of Ratcliffe.
And it looks like you've got another caller before we get out of here as well. Hello, caller.
Hi, this is Akua.
Hello, Miss Akua. How are you?
How are you doing? And I got a chance to talk to this beautiful person. I could feel the beauty and the vibration of conversation, and I just want to say that she will be coming on my show. And we're going to do something a little different, but it all ties into women and what women are capable of doing. Yes. And the part of the mother, there are different labels for women that we have this day, and each one has its own merit. And we're going to talk about that on my show.
Yes, I'll be on the 27th of June.
That's good. That is great.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
That's great. So, we look forward to that. We look forward to it.
So I appreciate Brother Muhammad. I mean, I want to say this. There are not many people that push so hard to help other people in the way that he does. I just want to thank him for that. And we just need more people and, more brothers and sisters like that. That's not just a sex thing. That's just a people thing to just share and help one another. And as a group, as a people, as a nation, we could grow better together.
Hey, thank you. And, of course, that's Akua Fayette, and she has a quality show with information that's all about advancement and helping community, and we're so glad to have her here. She's on Saturdays from 1. What is your life changer? That's the important question. I'm Paris. This is the Morning Magazine. We thank you so much. This is it's been a pleasure. And ordinarily, Lydia Flanagan would be here with the diversity of thought, and I'd be at the producer's role, But today we've got the Ratcliffe family, and again, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
All right. We are The Source. It's 25 minutes after the hour. We'll be back with you shortly, and we'll have more conversation for you. Also coming up, we're going to talk to our friends from the Community Music Center because they've got the Fiery Strings coming in concert. It's going to be quite an affair. It's with the Community Music Center of Houston. You're invited to listen. You're invited to listen and get into that. And on Sunday and Saturday, well, it's Carrie Lewis. It all happens right here on The Source. We are 1230 YouTube. You'll find us there. And also, you'll find us online at 1230 KCOH, The Source.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks, soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly, or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston, 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
All right, we are the source. We are the source. We are on YouTube. Please check us out. We'd be delighted to have you to have you check us out online. Carrie Lewis and Ron Jackson on Saturday. Ron will be here. It's going to be a great morning for all of you. So join us on Saturday. Be sure you join us tomorrow on The Source.
We're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks, soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source. Saturdays, we're taking you back with Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks, soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Carrie Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
Informative, entertaining, inspiring. It's the Jackson Political Report, hosted by veteran political strategist Ron Jackson. Ron will discuss local, state, national, and international politics. The show features commentary, guest interviews, and audience dialogue. The Jackson Political Report, this Saturday morning, 10 to 11 on 1230 KCOH, The Source. From the backwoods of Mississippi to the bright lights of Chicago.
And leaving would be the last thing on my mind. If I could turn back the hands of time.
From the backwoods of Arkansas to the bright lights of Chicago. A 1969 #1 million seller.
Baby, can I change my mind?
A 1969 #1 million seller.
Who's making love to your old lady? Why do I'm making love?
TD.
So good to be home with you.
JT.
Only my woman can.
Tyrone Davis. Johnny Sailor. It's a classic showdown. Friday afternoon, June 13th at 3 on 1230 KCOH. Boss Source.
Are you looking for a pharmacy where you're more than just the next person in line, where the pharmacists are friendly, willing to talk to you about your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, where they make deliveries to customers in the general area? Then you need my pharmacy of choice, Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, right off of I-10 East near the 610 Loop. James Muldrow and his staff are there to serve you. I've been a customer for over 37 years. The insurance companies have tried to steer me to the corporate pharmacies, but I prefer Mercury Drive. It's a staple in East Houston, serving Fidelity, Jacinto City, Pleasantville, Fifth Ward, North Shore, Wood Forest, Galena Park, Channel View, offering free delivery to those areas and others. Most insurances are accepted. Mercury Drive Pharmacy is open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. Phone 713-674-6122, 713-674-6122. Mr. Muldrow and his staff are happy to serve you. Mercury Drive Pharmacy, 918 Mercury Drive, south of I-10 East.
All right, we are the source. We are the source, and wouldn't you know it, we've got a testimony coming in this morning. Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning. My name's Alessandra Harris. How are you, Paris?
Hey, what's going on? How are you, Alessandra? How you doing?
I'm great.
Hey, I bet you are. You always are. What's happening?
Thank you. I just wanted to share, Kimberly, I am a former resident of Plano and had the pleasure of meeting you and your family multiple times because I frequented at the market. And
Okay,
I saw your post.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No. I was just going to say they had just stepped out while I was on the phone. They had stepped out. But tell us about your experience there.
Oh, okay, awesome. So, yeah, it was an amazing experience. That was something that was important to me, actually, kind of being with the sustainability. As you know, my parents have had their health matters, so I went down a rabbit hole of just, how can I actually support local produce.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I had an amazing experience. They have just a great team. And just the quality, of their, beef and just a variety of different things that they offer. So, please find your support or find your way to support them in any kind of way. And just knowing that black farmers need to be supported as a whole. This current government is just really trying to dismantle a lot as far as black farmers and just farmers in general. But I was excited to see you had them on the show, so I know that was an amazing interview.
What a great call to get, Alessandra. I know nothing but the finest of food passes through your chops.
Yes.
yeah. Discriminating taste. So you say it's good, I know it's good. Hey, it is good to hear from you, young lady.
Yes, very great to hear, and keep up the amazing work. You are such a legend. And it's just a blessing to know that you're continuing on doing amazing work, and people can hear you across airwaves, internet, and all the things. So
hey, thank you so much.
Keep up the amazing work.
All right. Thank you so much. And love to your mom and dad, as always. Hey, Yvonne, how are you? All right, great love there, man. The Harris family, and people talking about announcement. We've got some announcements of our own. We got our own ways of dispensing joy here. You're gonna share it with we're gonna share it with the audience next week. So we want to keep you guys locked in. Stay tuned for that. And we also want you to know about CMCH, the Community Music Center of Houston. And Boynton Chapel Methodist Church is the site of the Summer Youth Music Camp, June 8th through the 19th. That's located at 2812 Milby Street from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You'll be able to carry your gifted little darlings there and have them explore their capabilities with musical instruments or their voices, or learn to read notes. All of these facets of music are explored there for the summer music camp for young people, grades K through 12. And you are invited to have them come out at Boynton Chapel, Boynton Chapel Methodist Church. It's located 2812 Milby Street. And I'm looking forward during our noon hour to have on special guests, because they've got a concert coming up on June 7th, and it is with very distinguished musicians. So you stay tuned. At 23 minutes before the hour of 12 o'clock, you missed that, Derek. Alessandra Harris just called me. Oh, yeah. And yes, and she frequents. She has gone to Premium Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe. She made purchases there, and eating healthily and right. the like. And she was excited, and she was enthusiastically endorsing.
Wow.
That. Yeah. So
right after the show.
And that's good. And I do want to commend you, first of all, for your sense of community and the willingness to say, hey, look, here's somebody who can make a difference in the community. Mm-hmm. To be willing to be sure that we pass along right. information, man. That's what it's about out there.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Because that's the most important thing. Because right after slavery, our people, who did they have? They had each other, mm-hmm. and that's what they did. They constantly kept giving information to each other during that time on how to survive. Yeah. I mean, nowadays we have what is called an SOS, saving our own self.
Right.
SOS, man. Yeah. And the most important thing that I felt is just listening to the Ratcliffes was that I'm looking at the sense of family.
Yes,
how the daughter is pushing the patriarch story.
I like that. Yeah, and they step aside for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Mr. Ratcliffe, Wesley Ratcliffe,
mm-hmm.
is very deferential. To his, from what I see, to his daughter, and now we find out to the siblings as a whole. So
right,
he defers, he listens to what they say, mm-hmm. and as we heard, when he found out that it was profitable, he could do that, and willing to change his ways, mm-hmm. and that's that kind of behavior
mm-hmm.
is what powers that story this morning.
Right.
Because we want as many examples of our people not just winning but succeeding.
Right.
Succeeding, because sometimes you can the two aren't necessarily the same. Sometimes you win in a moment, but
mm-hmm.
you don't succeed at a larger effort,
right?
And sometimes you succeed because you met personal goals for yourself, and maybe you didn't come high enough to win
mm-hmm.
in that thing, but they seem to be doing both,
right?
And we want people to hear these stories. I mean, for the daughter to
mm-hmm.
leave marketing
right.
and branding at Bloomberg, and that's a highly competitive environment all its
mm-hmm.
own, though. That's
right.
And when you throw in the combination of missing your family, it takes a special kind of person just to break away from the place they've been in all the time and go out to live somewhere on their own. Right. To take a highly competitive job in a highly competitive city. Right, exactly. So you throw in all the other stuff. You throw in all the other stuff. That can be a lonely place. Yes. My daughter moved to Los Angeles, and you know, it's been great for her. It's been challenging in some instances, you know, and like Miss Ratcliffe, my daughter went away to school at Carleton College in Minnesota. She had been in the heat in Houston most of her life. Right. You know, even when vacation time came, we went to warm climates. She went to Minnesota. That's where what's her main name with Golden Girls? Minnesota. Minute Rose came from Minneapolis. Yeah. Okay. Came from Minnesota. Yeah. Right. Right. And I was wondering how my daughter will make it in that cold, man. Yeah. But she did it, and. That's one place I ain't going to live. No, me neither. I go visit, but not live. But when we get these stories about people, the reason that story is important, that part of it, is it's another layer of character. Yes. Because it's not just about this person went into this job and made it. I heard this woman talking about what she had to do. Yes. How she had to endure certain things to get there. Yes. I heard her father talking about the same thing. Right. All right? Right. And this man, and I mean, to show you what was happening with that, he was at NASA as a scientist. I know. Okay. Wasn't there something? Yeah, right. Yeah. Right after what he said, he wasn't there during time with the Hidden Figures people. I forget the name of the women there, but I'm sure some of your listeners do. But one of the things that caught my eye though is when he said that. I said, so he's one of the few people in the world that, I mean, we had this argument going on. No, we didn't go to the moon. I bet you we didn't go. Well, there was a man. There was a man who can attest to the fact that we went. That was a man who was saying, no, it happened. I was there, and here's what I helped. What I helped do. And what he helped do. Yeah. So sometimes before we grab stories off, sensational stories off the media, and we run with things, sometimes there are people like that, quietly, who just go on about their business. They don't even have to argue about things like that. Right. When we go to the see that's why I like to talk to scientists. Yes. And I also like to talk to airline pilots. As well because they see a lot. I had two pilots when I was doing Uber. Okay. I had two of them that got in my car, and we was having a conversation, and I told them I mean, they listened very attentively, but I told them that the way they view the world and everything is going to be from a much broader scope, because you're seeing the earth from above, and you looking down, you seeing all that territory. So I think we need to talk to more scientists, especially more black scientists, because you really don't really see very many of them. I did not know that there was three NASA scientists. These were three black scientists that actually developed the boosters to the space shuttle. You didn't see them, but the way I saw them was through Black Enterprise magazine. There are stories out there deeper than the things we talk about in online in these talk shows or in the barbershop or in the cigar lounges. There are stories out there. Now, not all of them are true, but at least we can talk about some different stories. Exactly. Sometimes too. Let's see. We got. Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning, Pastor. To my cousin.
Yeah, your cousin. Your cousin, Bo.
Hey, how you doing, cousin?
Let me speak to my cousin. What's happening?
Man, I appreciate you bringing this to us this morning, man. I'm just man, hippopotamus happy, man.
Hippopotamus. Yes, hippopotamus happy, man.
Yeah. Man. You know, and listening to that brother and that sister, man, you know, they just talk so humbly. You know, parents have to come back and say, "Wait a minute, you was a scientist."
Yeah, right. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
He just glossed over that one.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even mention that. And look, I got to tell you guys this too. When Derek referred me to the family, I was expecting to go to it and find out, okay, it's going to be a web page and it's going to talk about their meats or their cattle or whatever it is, right? But I see this story. It's on this woman. And I saw the name Radcliffe and Caney Creek. That's the way I started looking it up. For those of you who want to go online and look it up too, go to, you know, I went online, Caney Creek, and I'm sure they got website address, but I went there and then I saw this article. And it was a spread. I'm telling you. I mean, it was it was about 4 or 5 pages on Miss Kimberly Radcliffe, and it shows her with those beautiful animals, and she talks about her philosophy and bringing economic stability and growth while connecting consumers to their meat supply. I mean, she knows the language, and it was just such an impressive article, and they talked about the acreage that they have, man. This was all just very important, you know? Yeah.
And then he come back and say he was a professor.
Yeah. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What time did you find to do all of this between your time being Secretary of Defense? Right. This guy's done it. I mean, you know, he's done it all, man. Yeah, and that's great. It was great.
Mathematician, man.
Yeah, mathematician, right?
And I mean, he said he wasn't there during Hidden Figures, but he's a continuation of the Hidden Figures.
That's right. Exactly. That's right.
Yeah, and I'm so glad my cousin put him on blast.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
You know, because like I said, right after slavery, brothers and sisters, you got to look at it. How did we survive? What is it that we did? We had everything against us. They let you go. You didn't get no 40 acres. You didn't get a mule. How did you survive? And one of the main focus that popped up with every time you go study about that time is that black people collectively worked with each other. It was always collective economics with us, and that's what's missing. Go ahead, Uncle Bo.
I'm gonna share something with you. My grandfather in Logansport, Louisiana, had a farm, right? And he didn't have no car. Okay. In 1985, I'm down there picking stuff, corn and all this kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Had pigs and had all this kind of stuff, but he was still bargaining his vegetables and stuff off his farm for other goods and services from other people.
Yeah.
There was no running water in the house. We had to go to the well.
Yes.
And like I said, man, and I'm reaching out to one of my cousins now because we need to go back and rejuvenate all that.
Right.
I'll trade with each other. I'll trade with each other. Growing something, having something worth trading for. To learn how to do these things. These things.
And like I said, man, I really enjoyed the show this morning. Diversity of Thought and my cousin.
Yeah.
DJ.
DJ, man, he came through like a champ. Yes, it did.
Sir.
Yes,
all right, Paris, I'm going to let y'all get back to it.
Okay, buddy. All right. Thank you. There were layers to this story. Really, we were disappointed when we couldn't finish it, but you see, the universe had something nicer. The universe,
right?
Just remember this, and not just in this. This is not just a one-off. Sometimes when things aren't going your way, and you are trying to be over-controlling, sometimes just sit back, and the universe has something else for you.
Right.
This went from a staticky interview to a live, to a live informative interview, sit down style, that I would not have gotten otherwise, unless we had that problem, because we just would have powered on through that interview, but this interview began the way it was proper for it to begin. We didn't get ahead of the story. We allowed the story to unfold. So it was just great. And these are important things. Family business. Yes. People have trouble keeping their children in the family business.
Oh man,
right?
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
just even getting started.
yeah. You listen. Many an entrepreneur has had to close his or her doors. Right. And I know of cases like this here in this city, other cities too, but here in this city, I know several younger people who just didn't want anything to do with the family business. Sometimes because they were interested in enjoying the benefits of the benefits of what the family had produced, but not, they liked status and they named all of that, but they didn't want to put in the work that that their parents had done. They didn't want to put in that work. And so there were people who have put a lot into these businesses, and I thought this was a great thing. Wesley was backing, Mr. Ratcliffe was backing his children. Whatever you guys want to do, as long as you know what you're doing, and you're committed to it, then we're going to give it the opportunity to work out. And now they do have generational wealth, but it could have easily gone elsewhere. If all of them had just walked away from it. But she was the one who said, I want to go back. I want to get down. I want to do this.
Well, like you say, man, you never know who actually have the vision.
Yes.
Within them, and she definitely have it, because you can see the end result.
And that's a good thing. Now, to your other conversation about you were talking about pilots, but astronauts are on
they're on another level
record now. They're on record for I think it was Neil Armstrong or who talked about, or maybe it was John Glenn, but they talked about how beautiful the world is from down there, and the first thing that they say that crosses their mind, this is a running theme that I've heard from most of them. Let's say, what is it? We are speck. We are a speck.
You really
and
are.
They say we're blowing. And they say we're blowing. One of them was saying we're blowing this. Down here, the way we handle one another, and the way we treat one another, and the way we pollute our resources. And they many of them, stories have been reported, attributed to them, about feeling closer to what they called God. It's remarkable when you read what they actually have said at different times. You go back and you put those things together. They don't try to make it into a religious thing. They just talk about this
just how small and minuscule you really are.
And the order of the universe. These are people who've been farther than the average human being is going to ever go. But they looked back down and they had that experience.
That was my experience when I first got in the airplane. I looked down on and thank goodness I flew during the day. That way you can really get a view. And I seen just how expansive the earth is. And then I realized that, man, just how small I am.
Now, can you imagine going thousands of miles up and looking down?
Looking down, man. Boy, I tell you, boy, and then what it did, it opened my mind. It opened the way I see things, because I can see things more expansive. Now, not just in one little tunnel. I hear people with tunnel vision, but hey, y'all, don't forget those folks that talk about the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Be honest with you, brother and sister. When you listen to the astronauts and those who talk about this planet, and then you see the pictures, the only thing flat is your head.
Yeah, the universe can give us a sense of humility when we allow it to, and that's what these astronauts talk about. That's what they talk about.
Right.
Yeah, guys like Buzz Aldrin and
old Buzz.
Yeah. So, like I said, Glenn Walker. Glenn was from Ohio, wasn't he? I can't recall these different guys, but they were Alan Shepard. I remember he was the first guy to go into orbit.
Right.
He was the first guy to go into orbit, I think. So we're learning more. Thanks to those trips, we've learned more about the makeup of the world.
Right.
We've learned more about physics thanks to them. We've learned about quantum packets of light, how light moves and how it affects what our perceptions and what we see as physicality. We learned all of that from going those explorations in space.
Some of it was always being mentioned, but they never really believed until they went.
That's
because I know, Elijah Muhammad had said, he told them before they went there that you're gonna smell gunpowder. But they didn't believe it. They because they didn't believe that because they really did. I mean, people just didn't know how did the moon get there. But now, after that was being rejected, now the people are saying that wait a minute, the man said that there was an explosion that separated that the Earth from the moon, and then they done sampled the composition of the soil up there, the dust and whatever, and then they found out that man, it was true. So we got a lot of things coming up, Uncle. I mean, we are living in a time where, like I said the other day, we living at a time where if a person try to tell one lie, the lie only lasts for 30 seconds now. You can't get away with that. So anything that we see being said federally, locally.
But you know what the problem is there are people who want to believe the lie. So you have to want to know the truth.
Right.
That's something you have to want to do. Many of us, whether it's our children, whether it's our mates, whether it's something about our own selves, there are many of us who don't want to know the truth about ourselves, and so our ears itch for sweet talk, or we want something that doesn't offend our idea of who we are, that doesn't clash with the idea of who we are. We want to have our perceptions reinforced, because that's why some people just can't hear the truth. They can be in office, they can be elected, they can be appointed, they can be citizens. If you tell them something that they just don't want to hear, they're going to go on and keep speaking the truth. Now, depending upon how many other people like them, the people who like them will believe the lie because it's verifiable to them. Yeah.
Well, I know one night, they ain't for sure, boy. They can't get away. They can't even get around it now. So if you just saying that no, I don't believe this, I don't believe that, you only doing that for your own benefit. For the most part, if that old song say always something there to remind me, it's gonna be always something to remind you today, man. You cannot get away from facts and truth today. You can just type it up on your computer, on your telephone, I mean everywhere.
Well, they call it fake news. And
all that stuff.
They call it alternative fact. Kellyanne Conway used to call it fake. No, she used to call it fake news, but she used to call it alternative facts.
Yeah, man.
So that's what we are faced with today.
I forgot about her.
Oh yeah. No, there's a whole industry that runs on that.
Yeah.
So what's happening with you at the mosque this weekend, you guys?
Well, just regular. Just come to the
Anything
service.
special? Okay.
No,
Okay.
Well, you
this
can.
Time, you can make your pitch. You can make your pitch.
Stop doing. He's
yes,
there
sir.
every Sunday.
Yeah.
Whenever he's in town.
Yeah. Good brother.
But where we sitting at today, man, just to have Sister Ratcliffe in, man, my God, I mean, just her story alone, really pulls from the ancestors for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
really
her energy. She's on a mission. She's on a mission. I caught it when she said, "My mission was to." It was no. I caught it when Wesley was speaking.
Right.
I was thinking, and she said, and when she had realized she was at the other place, and it was that she had done what was needed to be done.
Right.
Done there,
right.
and it was time to move on. Yeah.
See, that's when you know that you are guided by another spirit, because you have a tendency, wherever you are, the people are edified.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it when she talked about. She said she looked at the situation that the farm was sitting at. And then she also looked at the needs of the neighbors as well as the needs of themselves, and then she came out with what she came out with. I think that's very, very wonderful.
Yeah, and consulted with the neighbors, and they were open to it. They were open to it too. There's a I got to tell people about this 18th annual Juneteenth celebration, DJ. Juneteenth pageant. Before I do, DJ, let's see. Pageant. Looks like why am I getting? Let's see. Looks like I'm getting. Oh, hold on. Looks like I'm getting. Oh.
Yeah, there you go. There was only one fader.
Oh, is that what that was on? Okay. All right. Now let's see what we can see. What we get. It's on. Okay. Oh yeah. No, I see where it's coming from. I see where that's coming from. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget now, we've also got a conversation coming from the Community Music Center of Houston. They're going to give us a call, and we're going to talk about the fiery strings. That's what we want to share with the audience. Wow. But there's a Juneteenth celebration that I started to tell you about, and let me pull this up. I think my man Babalola Goodrich, Babalola. Yeah, I think Babalola is got something else going on. There, yep. Ernest has 2026 Juneteenth pageant talent show, parade, gospel festival, and health symposium events with the Houston Sun Foundation. Oh yes, okay, that's on Sunday, the 14th, and Brother Babalola is going to be the MC over there. He's going to be a performer. He's doing the full Monday over there now. Wow. Yeah. Please be sure you go. It is. It's with the Houston Sun Foundation. I'm trying to get the location. Babalola here. Let's see what do we have. Juneteenth. Okay, the Houston Sun Foundation presents the 18th annual Juneteenth celebration. It is the signing, of course, we celebrate the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. And on Saturday, June 6th, there is going to be a 1 p.m. performance at the 3rd Ward Multi-Service Center at 3611 Ennis Street. They're going to have ages 5 to 25, Mr. and Miss Juneteenth pageant. So you'll be invited to that. And then on June 7th, from 3 to 5 p.m., there's a youth talent essay. The Lionel Robinson Talent Show, Sunday, June 7th, at the Judson Robinson Community Center. And we've got several programs that are going on, and we want to tell you about them. We want you to get connected to as many of them as you can, and make it, because these are great family events. I want to say good morning to you, John Brown. How are you out there this morning? My man, John Brown, youngster, it's good to hear from you. Yes, indeed. You have a great day out there. John Brown does good work, great work in the community, helping young men and women find work. He calls in and tells us about it. You know, when let me say hello to Spivey too. Richard Spivey, my man, Captain Spivey. You know, when Kimberly was talking about feeding Houston and donating to the Houston Food Bank, it's great that the people at the food bank called her back, and to know that those people are going to be getting some premium meat. Right. So obviously she must have moved the needle for them, right? Now the other thing is, see, I've got to ask her about. She'll tell us anyway. But I'm going to ask her about these hospitals. I wonder, do they, they service those places too? I guess. Let me get to this call right now, because I've got somebody on from Community Music Center in Houston. Hello.
Hello, Paris. And
hey, cool. Happy Friday to you. It's always a pleasure, Miss Holt, when I speak with you.
Yes, it's always a pleasure. TGIF, happy Friday. Wishing everyone the best, to be the best version of themselves.
Yes.
We are super excited over here at the Houston Community Music Center of Houston.
Yes.
Of course, we're in the heart of the 3rd Ward Arts District. A lot of you don't know that 3rd Ward now has its designated arts district to sort of highlight the institutions who've been there serving the public culturally for decades. And, of course, the Music Center is entering its 50th year, 50 years old.
Yeah. Yes.
And so we've been around for a minute, but we want to invite everyone to a major concert that we're doing this weekend at the historic El Dorado Ballroom in the heart of 3rd Ward, across from Emancipation Park. But here's the deal. The Fiery String Sisters from New York City will be debuting in Houston, doing a concert that's literally free, because we're asking people for donations in order to enter the concert. Yes. We've had a wonderful response, thanks to you, Paris, and the Black Press, a great response. And this concert is nearly sold out. How do you sell out of something that's free? The way you sell out of something that's free is that people RSVP for seating. So I'm going to be straightforward and let people know that we've had an overwhelming response from your audience and the audience of the Black newspapers. And we are elated about that. So if you go online and you see that it's sold out, it's sold out. If you go online and there are tickets still available, understand there may be a wait outside, or you may have to catch our concert season in the fall.
Right.
We just had and that's love, Paris, because
yes, it is.
Our city has one of the most amazing responsive audience. I was thinking about how a long time ago KPAT used to do the Blues Festival at Miller Theater, and I thought, that many people are listening to the blues? Absolutely. And I have audio, and I'll share some of that with your audience one day, of all the greats, everybody from Bobby Blue Band to Johnny Taylor, just everybody performing at Miller and Pacifica produced that concert with Howard University back in the day. Right. And they have this wonderful treasure trove of audio from those shows. And all those people, Coco Taylor, all those people are gone. Yeah. And the reason why I'm mentioning that, because this is June Black Music Month. And some people may say, well, what is that? Well, June Black Music Month, people mistakenly think that Jimmy Carter created Black Music Month, but he did not. Jimmy Carter was the first black president to make sure that it was recognized nationally. Excuse me, recognized nationally. But prior to that, Black Music Month came out of Philadelphia, the Sound of Soul. It came out of that group who recognized that it was important to lift up black music, to look at the pioneers that created this wonderful musical tradition. And we paired that with the community music infusion, because that's exactly what it's been doing for the last 50 years, continuing the tradition of black music tradition. And interestingly, someone thought that it's important to definitely continue that tradition and create something that we would remember all the greats who were the pioneers of this important musical tradition. And these folks did not get paid, nowhere close to what we see now, right now.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, and then they had their work stolen from them, from Sam Cooke to to Louis Armstrong. Maybe one day we'll talk about those stories. That Louis Armstrong, his manager, he thought he was letting this man manage his money, and he was sick, dying, and realized he didn't have one penny. He found out that his manager was associated with the mob, and took that man's poor money, just took his money, and he died broke. And again, art is so important. Someone decided that they would put that in a play. And that's how I found out about his life. The Ensemble Theater produced a play about that, and it was just extraordinary.
Yeah.
It was extraordinary. So again, the Music Center is continuing the tradition of celebrating and preserving black classical music. What do you mean by that? Black classical music? We're talking about everything from gospel to spiritual to jazz to hip hop to country. All of it it comes, the root of that comes from the great African tradition. And some people say, well, I ain't no African. Well, if you study African music and the rhythms in African music, if you study African musicians coming out of Mali, Kwame, his name is not Kwame, Tumani Diabete, he played music in one of a great movie that was out. I can't think of the name of it right now. His music sounds almost like B.B. King. So a lot of these white artists have gone over there, documenting this music, and they use some of these classical blues players in their bands, which is how we found out about them. I would not have known of Tumani Diabete, but his music sounds very close to the blues that we listen here. So there's nothing that we do that's new. It's all an evolution from the musical roots of where the foundation of humanity began. And some now young people have noticed that, wait a minute, well, we were already here. We were already here. I'm no African because we were already in America. Well, yeah, that's been documented too. That's true too. But when you still look at genetically, your genetic composition, no matter where you're from, science says all of humanity evolved out of the African continent.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's your argument. You can't argue with genetics. So yes, your people may have already been here before the Native Americans, because now they've discovered that the Native American gene pool comes from Mongolia. not necessarily here. So now we know there's been a mix there as to how they got here, because when you look at New Orleans and the Mardi Gras and the Black Indians, they've been here for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yes.
Because when you look at the Black Indians, you're like, well, wait a minute. How is it that their costumes look exactly like Native American, but more colorful? Well, how is it that they do some of the similar dances? Well, it was African to begin with.
Yeah.
So who merged with whom? So all of that history has been buried, as we see now. We see now out loud in living color that there's an effort to suppress our culture, our music, our history, but it's up to us to keep the oral tradition going. It's up to us to continue to document. And this is why I believe that African society, they had griot, because they understood that sometimes people who were in opposition to our culture, well, we're going to store this history in our brain. You can't take that. Okay, go ahead and burn the library, as you have done. Burn the library.
Yep.
Go ahead and erase us. Stop printing the books. Stop teaching the history. Stop the music. Stop teaching music classes. Stop all of that. But we have our jollies. We have our tellers, the way Esther King used to tell the stories, the way Judon tell the stories, the way Deloitte Parker and Ada Edwards and so many others, Reverend Lawson, all these keepers of the knowledge, the keepers of wisdom, the keepers of history. We had our great storytellers that will remind us of who we were, Nikki Leland, where we were going, Barbara Jordan, Zanetta Burney. So many people, we stand on their shoulders. And the Music Center, and you, the listening audience, we are left here now to continue the work and to perhaps to touch on to those who are yet unborn. As we remember the opening scene in Ruth, when that elder took that baby and held that baby. I'll never forget that. I was a young child when Ruth came out. And she held that baby to the sky and said, this child will be directed by the culture and by the Creator. So having said all of that, getting back to the excitement about Black Music Month, it encompasses all the things that I'm talking about. We are the cultural barriers and the keepers of our history and passing it along to each other. And that's what the Community Music Center is doing in partnership with a number of people, the Community Music Center of Houston, the National Black United Front, KCOH. It's so many people have been a part of this project, and we thank you. We thank you all. So this is Sunday at starting from 2 to 4, the art gallery. The exhibit is called Music is Our Sanctuary, and the performance part starts at 4 o'clock, featuring some elders that we're going to honor in the music industry, education, and then, of course, the Fire String Sisters coming down from New York to bless us with their performance.
That is great. The Fire String Sisters of New York City.
They're going to bring the fire, baby. They're going to take that classical. They're going to take that classical instrument, the violin and the cello and the double bass, and they're going to rock it with some jazz and some soul and blues and R&B, and put our cultural spin on it, and feed us in good harmony. And we need that now. We need to be blessed with things that bring people together rather than chaos that tears us apart. So this is a good time.
Yeah. Now, can we talk about the featured performance? The featured honorees for a moment. We get Dr. Ann Lundy, Ruth Stewart, Ina Zellers, and Dr. Gloria Quinlan, right? You got that list there in front of you? Yeah.
Yes, I do. These honorees are so important to us. Dr. Ruth Stewart, of course, she is a legendary soprano, historic operatic achievements, and a masterful teacher.
Wait a minute. I'm losing some of your voice. You're breaking up a little there. You said Ms. Ruth Stewart does what?
Ms. Ruth Stewart, she taught at Texas Southern University. She's no longer with us.
Okay.
She transitioned in 2018.
Okay.
And she's a legendary sopranic, historic operatic artist. and a masterful teacher who preserved that operatic black tradition at Texas Southern University through choral music.
Okay.
And Dr. Gloria Quinlan was one of her students, and she has continued this tradition. She's a distinguished choral conductor whose academic leadership and mastery of choral traditions continue to elevate and inspire the voices of tomorrow. And Dr. Ina Zeller, the 11th, she too is a masterful vocalist and educator who has endured artistry and spiritual leadership, and she's anchored many cultural events in Houston and has elevated her students as well. And of course, we save the best for last, and that is Dr. Ann Lundy, who is the founding music director of the Community Music Center of Houston. Also formed the Scott Joplin Community Chamber Orchestra and the William Grant Steel Orchestra. Now, many people may not know this, but Scott Joplin was born right here in Texas.
Okay.
Right here in Texas. And created the very famous song called The Entertainer. Another song called The Maple Leaf. And if you go back and look at the film Sting, that song is in that film. And I mentioned last time, because of the exposure Scott Joplin got in Sting, they used money and from that film to go and definitely give him a proper recognition at his burial site in New York. So he has a beautiful tombstone there now. But before, it was just some marker making his grave and his life obscure to the public. But now his popularity has risen, and his name in certain circles is now a household name. Scott Joplin, right here from right here from Texas.
All right.
Those are the people we'll be honoring, and thank you, Paris. So again, all of this takes place on Sunday at 4 o'clock, El Dorado Theater, the El Dorado Ballroom, rather. And please go online to RSVP. Again, if the registration is closed, we'll catch you again next year.
And I want to say that after the Fiery String concert on the following day, there's the Summer Youth Music Camp, right?
That's right. The Summer Youth Music Camp. If you have children who are musically inclined, or even if they're not, you can bring them to our summer camp, and they can be immersed one-on-one with music professionals and learn not only about music, but also discipline as well. And that will take place Monday. Also, at a church in Third Ward. You can find that information.
Boynton Chapel Methodist Church, 2812 Milby Street.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And all of this is available online for you at cmchouston.org. cmchouston.org.
All right, then. All right. Yeah, well, we thank you. We thank you so much. All right. And you have a great day. All right.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. That's a cool hope, everybody. So that's a good lineup. That's a good lineup. That's a good way to spend your time, huh?
I definitely want to say something about CMH of Houston. Uncle P, I used to be a student with them back in the 80s. And that goes to show you the longevity. And I mean, because it was Ron Scales.
Ron Scales at the time.
Yes, yeah. Back in the 80s, man, I was doing voice.
Really?
Back then, yeah.
So you do a little chirping, you do a little singing, huh? You do some crooning, huh?
I used to write.
Okay, I can see the writing. I can see the writing because you still write. You still write. Just definitely. Prose now, though, right? I mean, yeah. What about you? Did you ever record?
For myself.
Oh, okay.
No. But we
for yourself.
We definitely have recorded.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, we recorded and kind of put something out. But you know, just over the years, man, you don't get. Houston is not a big major city when it comes to signing acts, you know, like music, like
it's not a music town like Atlanta. It's not a music town like it's not a music town like New York and L.A. Those are the centers because that's where the companies have their headquarters. Now they might open they do have music branches in Atlanta, but the powerhouse centers are New York and L.A.
Mainly here, oil and gas, and stuff like that, and matter of fact, the one that engineered some of my music was oh my God, what's my brother's name? You know him. As soon as I say the name, Hughes. Lloyd Hughes.
Oh, Lloyd Hughes. Yes.
Lloyd
he was over here with Andrea B.
Yes.
He was over here a while ago. Yes. Yep. Good brother, man.
Very good brother, man. And you know, Lloyd have always been a lot of people don't realize, man, but Lloyd also ran his own recording studio not too far from here. It used to be right there off of Buffalo Speedway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I remember those guys, man. I also remember this guy, a little older than you, Johnny Praising. He used to be.
I've heard of Praising.
Yeah. He's a drummer. He used to be with, I think Johnny used to be with the Soul Brothers Incorporated, too. That was a group from way back in the day.
Yes, I don't like it.
Right. You can tell by the name. Yeah, back during the days of the Shandy Ballroom or something. Yeah.
You know, it was some artists I wanted to ask you, did you ever get a chance to speak with? My God, let's see. and it's been on my mind for so long, and I say as soon as I see him, I'm gonna ask him about this guy. And
then you forget.
Yeah, now can you think about it, brother?
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when I'm talking to Don or Ralph or Michael Harris. I'm talking to him about something, and my mind goes, it's there. It was there until the moment I needed it, and then it departed. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back as we prepare for our guy, Ralph Cooper.
Installation, driveway, patio, or other renovations, including house slabs and foundations. You need to call the professionals at Sid Services, 832-657-4494. Sid has over 25 years of experience. He's honest and provides excellent work to each customer. So before you call anyone else, call Sid for a free quote. 832-657-4494. Commercial or residential. Excellent work at an affordable price. Satisfaction guarantee. Call Sid Services 832-657-4494. 832-657-4494. Remember, at Sid's, one call does it all.
The Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly, or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
In In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. Well, I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's see what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Max says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. You better do what you got to do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
WeServiceUnlimited.com. WeServiceUnlimited.com. 833-937-3788. 833-937-3788. Well, hello! It's getting hot in here. You don't need to worry or have no fear, 'cause we serve. We serve you. Fix anything you think is nothing we can't do, 'cause we serve. We serve you. We serve you. Oh, we serve.
Big job, small job. Call We Service Unlimited, 833-937-3788.
Yes, get served. Hey, we want to thank you for being with us. Listen, if you're here in the Houston area, be aware there's a weather impact alert out in this area as flooding threat continues with heavy rain. You don't want to get caught out there like that. Certainly not. So take precautions today and drive carefully out there on that highway today. Would you do that? We are the source, and of course we do. We thank you